Know that Geometry Dash truly is a beautiful game, where people are free to express themselves as they please. But what if we wanted to push human skill to its limit? These are two challenges, VSC and the third variant. Both of them only have one victor and are hard. VSC features some of the tightest wave gaps ever, and the third variant has 18 360Hz frame perfects, meaning you have only one frame to execute a jump on 360Hz, which is around 0.002 seconds to react. Oh, and they're also like, kind of invisible. It is jaw-dropping that these levels were even able to be verified, and it really shows how far Geometry Dash difficulty has come. But now, for the thing you've all been waiting for, a Geometry Dash AI. Somehow, a GD modder known as a DAF managed to make a sort of AI in Geometry Dash. The way it works is that it basically finds all the possible paths it can take and then decides which one is the best. It actually managed to get pretty far on base after base all on its own, without any pre-planned route, which is so impressive. I legit can't believe something like this exists. While it seems to not be able to do very complicated tasks at the moment, who knows? One day, it might be able to complete things us humans can't. There are tons more great accomplishments that it take me forever to mention, so if you feel like something is special, leave it in the comments below. Anyhow, have you ever wondered what the limits of Geometry Dash are? Well, you can find out here. Good. What are the limits of Geometry Dash? Over the years, people have pushed this simple mobile game to new heights, from making a level that uses over 1 million objects to one that is over 1 billion years long. Today, we'll be taking a deep dive into the mechanics of Geometry Dash to find an answer to this rather interesting question. How far can we truly push this game before it breaks? Where do we start though? This is the game's supposed health. Our goal is to bring it down to 0, and what better way to do that than finding the highest possible object count. So, what is it? Let's begin with 80,000 objects and work our way up. Since placing so many objects one by one will take forever, I'll just copy paste them into the same grid space. But when I do that, something weird happens. As you can see, the level cannot open. And while there is no known reason why this occurs, some Geometry Dash modders have theorized why. It's interesting to say the least, so let me explain. Back in 2.0, Absol had just released a version of his image-to-editor converter, a program that allows you to import images into the Geometry Dash editor. However, while this could be used to make some pretty sick art, a lot of people made, well, inappropriate art with it. Bruh. Of course, this made Robtop quite unhappy, and so later in 2.1, it is said that he added a system to prevent it by not allowing levels to open that have more than 2k objects in one grid space. Of course, this is just a theory, but it honestly makes sense considering the circumstances. Other theories also include an anti-lag feature, using a blocks divided by seconds method. Anyhow, now that we know we can place a lot of objects in one grid space, let's just put them separately. The highest object count a level can normally have is 80,000, because exceeding it could cause instability on lower end devices. However, since we're only trying to find the highest possible object count, we do not really care about that. Sorry mobile players, how can we exceed that limit though? Well, since some creators feel sort of constrained with the object restriction, people have developed modifications that allow you to bypass it. So, let's try going from 80,000 to 100,000 objects. As you can see, the level opens just fine. But what happens if we just jump to, let's say, 700,000 objects? Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. The game crashed. But why? While you may think it has to do with my PC not being good enough, this is actually because Geometry Dash can only use up to 2 GB of RAM at once. If a level has too many objects, it will exceed that limit and you will not be able to open it. And that's exactly what happened here. The game needed more RAM that it didn't have and it crashed. So now that we know that, what actually is the highest possible object count? I went and asked a DAF, a skilled GD modder to see what he had to say. He told me that without a patch that doubles GD's RAM usage, it's 300k to 400k objects. If you download a patch though, the number becomes around double that. But this is not 100% accurate. You see, the types of objects used in a level also play a role in if you can open. So if you compare a level with 800,000 1.9 objects with one that has 800,000 2.1 objects, the level with the 1.9 objects will open up more easily. Taking this into account, we can make a rough estimate that the maximum amount of playable objects is around 600 to 900,000, while the maximum combinable is around 1 million, since playing and saving have some differences. However, even if this is already pretty insane for Geometry Dash standards, when we take a look at how long a level can get, things get even crazier. The longest level you can normally build in Geometry Dash is 12 minutes and 51 seconds. This is because the editor just ends there, not allowing you to build any further. But what if I told you we could? With the use of an external program called Cheat Engine, we can modify the level's length directly. A level that used the software is Timeless. Timeless by Cyrillic is thought to be one of the longest levels ever made in Geometry Dash. When you enter it in the editor, you will see that the level is about minus 2.147 billion seconds in length. This led to a lot of people believing that the level is either negative in length or that it is 68 years long, by converting the 2.147 and so billion seconds into years. The thing is, none of these are actually true. Let me explain. The level displays that big number, which is the maximum 32-bit integer value, in the editor because of overflow. Basically, if the level's length surpasses the maximum integer value, aka that big number, it will overflow and show it as a negative value. Think of it as an error message. Now that we know that though, how long is it actually? Well, around 2.5 billion years. To comprehend how absurdly long this is, humans have existed for around 2 million years. That's more than 1,000 times less than this level's length. And the crazy part is that we can go even longer. In fact, we already have. Emptiness is a level by Euler that's way longer. By how much, you ask? Around 16 quintillion times. But what if I told you that both levels are impossible to complete? Not humanly impossible, because well that's pretty obvious, but literally impossible.
What are the effects?
You can never, ever reach the end, no matter how long you wait. The icon will abruptly stop moving. So what is the true longest possible level in Geometry Dash, and why does this happen? Well, the answer happens to lie in the FPS you use. Yes, you heard that right. Frames per second are the reason why you can't complete Timeless. Not because Robtop is bad at coding, but due to how float accuracy works. So, let's look into it, and maybe we can find an answer to our question. To understand this, we need to first take a look at how GD calculates where you move next. In short, it takes your current X position and adds the distance you'll go to, depending on your FPS. The higher your FPS, the smaller the movement is, and vice versa. Keep this in mind for later as it will be important. Anyhow, let's look at an example. Your cube is at X position 900, that's around 3 seconds into the level. To move to the next frame, GD will take your current X position, being 900, and add 10 steps to it. This means that your new position is now 910. This is then repeated for every single frame onwards, and your X position keeps increasing, until it doesn't. So why does this happen? Due to how computers calculate equations between float variables, gosh that sounded way more complicated than it actually is, the result is a bit inaccurate. Wait, what? Let's look back at our example. If you remember, we added 10 steps to our X position of 900 to make it 910. The thing I didn't mention, however, is that the result won't be exactly 910, but something like 910.000, some zeros later, 1. Now, the reason this happens and the science behind it is admittedly very complex, and while researching for this, my brain restarted multiple times. And since this is a Girthy video, I won't go too in depth on how it works, but what you need to know is that the bigger the numbers get, the less accurate equations become. Now, this is a huge issue when talking about massive lengths, and it makes sense. The way Girthy calculates your next move is by adding a number to your current X position. If we go too far, way too far, that X position number will be so big that the inaccuracy of the result will go off by so much to the point it can't calculate your next move, rendering your icon still. But while we figured out why it stops, how does FPS affect this? Well, accuracy pretty much determines how many decimal points the program can calculate. Remember what I said before? Well, the more FPS, the less you move. So the equation on a very high frame rate would probably be like 900 plus 0.002 steps, which requires more accuracy than something like 900 plus 10 steps. Hopefully, I didn't lose you too much in the explanation. But now that we understand this, what is the longest possible level in Geometry Dash? After talking to Ada for a while, he told me that the estimated time before your icon stops is around 32 hours, making that the longest possible level in Geometry Dash. While we've discussed a lot so far about the object limit and length, we've only touched on how we can break levels in the game. Of course, that can only mean that there is one last thing we need to figure out. How can we break Geometry Dash? The fact is that there are lots, and I mean lots of game-breaking things. Either it be the countless bugs littered inside the game, or the use of external programs to make it do unintended things. So, where do we start? Let me explain to you how a crash trigger works. First, you place a move trigger. Second, you set the values of it to something the game can't handle. Then you place it in one of the most anticipated extreme demons, forget to remove it, get it unrated, remove it, and then get it re-rated. That no joke happened. Basically, what a crash trigger does is, well, crash your game. It's nothing too crazy, but due to how popular it has become after that whole Sonic Wave Infinity shebang, I thought it'd be best to mention it. Things get way more interesting from here though. What if I told you about the Geometry Dash far lands? I know that sounds confusing. How can the far lands exist in GD? Remember when we talked about the longest level length in Geometry Dash? Well, one thing I didn't mention is that the farther you're in a level, the weirder things get. Let me show you a clip.
It is, and look at the cube. If this doesn't look strange, I don't know what it is.
The cube seems to be jumping normally, but the distance it covers is way more than usual. Why? Well, the farther you're in a level, the faster your icon moves. The reason this happens is the same as we explained before, but wait, there's something else. The icon and textures are also funnily messed up. Like, look at this, it looks drunk. Editor's note: apparently if your wave gets stuck far in a level, taking a screenshot makes it move by just a bit, making your trail messy. It's really funny to say the least, and I thought it'd be nice to mention it. But yeah, let's continue. Guess long lengths mess up any game, but what if I told you there's something that's even messier? Frames per second. The more of them you have, the buggier this buggy madness becomes. So, of course, let's use 19,000 FPS. As you can see, the wave moves at a strange angle, making things that shouldn't be doable possible. The reason this happens is once again because of float inaccuracies. I swear every problem we found has something to do with them. Anyhow, frame rate also messes with physics in general, the maximum level length as we said before, and the ship's rotation. But so far, we've only been looking at things possible with the use of modifications. What if we take a peek at some bugs? Game-breaking ones. Game file corruption is something no one wants to deal with. However, there is a small chance that when you save a level, it corrupts. This makes you unable to open Geometry Dash from Steam, forcing you to verify the game's files. As far as I know, the exact cause for this is unknown, but after doing some research, one explanation I found was that it has to do with how GD decrypts save data. Now, I won't go into detail on how this happens, but it is quite scary that you can lose access to the game for a bit just because you saved your level. Even so, the next bug we're going to discuss is even more interesting. Ocular Miracle is a level released back in June of 2020. Upon its release, it got rated Extreme Demon and people were already trying to complete it. However, the level had an insane amount of objects. This led to GD using more RAM than it could and caused some weird texture glitches on some devices. Yeah. However, graphical glitches like these have happened before, more often on AMD hardware. GD modders have theorized that the glitches happen because of high memory usage, which caused the textures that are stored in the same memory to be corrupted. They have even tried debugging this issue and found it to be in some of AMD's libraries, but the exact reason is unknown. It's pretty funny that a single level can mess up your textures though. While these seem to be the limits of the game for now, with new exploits and modifications being in development daily, there's one thing for sure: these limits will be broken. The older video on this topic is located here, and massive thanks to Adaf for helping me out immensely with this video, and make sure to check out the other people in the description for also helping me. Goodbye! It's August 2015, and Riot is ready to upload the new hardest level. Thousands of viewers have been waiting for this very moment. When he clicks that upload button, Geometry Dash will be changed forever. But if it weren't for two specific levels made a year prior, this moment might have never happened. A new level called Ice Hell Cave had just been released, featuring some very hard gameplay for its time. Few managed to complete levels like this, which made players wonder how far the difficulty of this game could actually be taken. However, most didn't think by much, as it seemed like a limit would be reached. That all changed in May of 2014, when a creator named Robtop would make a level inspired by Ice Hell Cave. This was Ice Carbon Diablo X, and it was insane.
Oh my god, this is stupid.
It featured incredibly hard timings, straight fly, and fakes to trick you. Despite popular belief, difficulty had been pushed by miles, but not in a good way. You see, the level was hacked, which was devastating. The community despised hacked levels, and so hoped that one day, someone would attempt and complete this beast legitimately. However, due to the sheer difficulty, nobody even dared to try it. That is, except for one player, Riot.
Oh, my nuts hurt so much I fell on them.
Riot was a competitive person. He always tried to complete levels before everyone else, and eventually wanted to become Geometry Dash's greatest player. However, this meant he would have to dethrone the current number one, Cyclic.
I was like, wow, this guy's actually better than Riot. I didn't expect that to happen. You know?
It wasn't going to be easy, especially considering that Riot had previously lost a race to him on a level called Cataclysm. While Cyclic was the winner, if Riot did something harder than Cataclysm, he could overtake Cyclic. So that's when he stumbled upon Ice Carbon Diablo X. It was the golden opportunity. He'd grind the level for hours every day, hoping for that perfect run. And only 3 days in, he would get this. A devastating fail. It looked like Riot's dream of becoming the best player had been stripped away. But he couldn't give up now. He was so close. All he needed to do was to go for that last push. And on the same day, it happened.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Riot did the impossible. He beat Ice Carbon Diablo X. After over a month since his defeat to Cyclic, he would come out on top. But all of this was cut short. It turned out that Ice Carbon Diablo X wasn't actually the hardest level. It was surprisingly the level Riot lost the race to, Cataclysm.
Ice Carbon Diablo X only really has that one, the ship parts basically, but the rest of ICDX is, you know, like a regular like map pack. But if you look at Cataclysm, like just from looking at it, you see the wave part, you see the ship part. Pretty much every part looks pretty scary in Cataclysm.
To add insult to injury, there were even harder levels before Ice Carbon Diablo X, but were made illegitimately, so fortunately didn't count. Riot's plan to be the best had failed, and if he wanted any chance to succeed now, he'd have to act fast. Luckily, he had two options. He could either make the hardest level by himself, or search for it. On one hand, making the hardest level by himself felt like a no-brainer, but if he failed to pull through, his chances of victory would be completely gone. However, if it takes too long to find a level, Cyclic would gain an unbeatable lead. His whole career depended on one single choice.
I know I was watching a person stream that would change how this game would develop, you know. I always knew that. I remember I was on vacation, and I think I once, as always, joined Riot's stream, and I saw this new level he was playing, and everyone talking about it in chat, and him like introducing it to everyone, you know?
This is Bloodbath, a level that blew everyone away. Here is why.
Definitely the length is one of them, because you know, it's longer than ICDX and Cataclysm.
And it's super tight actually, and there's orbs and ship, which just on top of that just makes it so much harder.
For that reason, some thought Riot wouldn't be able to do it. But then again, this was still Riot. He had never backed out from a challenge. So after fixing some questionable parts, he was ready to stream his quest.
It was, genuinely speaking, absolutely insane. Like the hype in chat, the people talking, everyone was just watching him complete the hardest level like possible in the game.
It felt like we were there with him. Every time he got far into the level, we cheer by spamming go in the chat. We all wanted him to succeed.
I did it! YOLO!
And on one day, it looked like he would. He passed all of the hardest parts and entered the last 10%. So close to the end, so close to being the best, yet so far. This mentally destroyed Riot. Imagine having thousands of viewers wanting you to succeed, but you just can't. However, as we said before, if he gave up now, he would once again lose to Cyclic.
I think that if he drops it, his career's basically done. Like, unless he goes for something else. I mean, but that's the thing, there wasn't really anything else at the time that was nearly as hard, let alone harder.
It was all or nothing. So, after 25,000 attempts and 1.5 months of non-stop grinding, it happened.
Oh my god!
And so, here we are. It's August 2015 and Riot is ready to upload the new hardest level. Thousands of viewers have been waiting for this very moment. when he clicks that upload button, Geometry Dash will be... The tables had turned. Cyclic was defeated. Once Riot uploaded Bloodbath, he was without a doubt the best player. However, this rivalry wasn't quite over, as Cyclic had a level up his sleeve to strike back at Riot. But until then, people would start attempting Bloodbath. At first, everyone struggled. Someone even spent 43,000 attempts in practice mode, although that's just a massive skill issue. Therefore, word quickly got around that the first person to complete it other than Riot would gain massive popularity and could overtake Riot. And for a bit, it seemed like a player named Smokes was about to be the one. Only 3 days after Bloodbath's release, Smokes would get 25%. Although it wasn't much, it was the best run by far and it was done so quickly too. He would continue the grind and eventually get 34%. Only a week later, Bloodbath took 1.5 months to be beaten. Smokes was about to beat it in 3 weeks. Or was he? The next few days would be quiet. No progress, no practice, nothing. Bloodbath's difficulty had claimed its first victim, and Smokes, for now at least, would drop the level. Quick intermission. A bit after Bloodbath's release, people would suddenly go on a massive debate on whether Riot said swag or quack during his completion.
Swag.
Now, Riot has apparently confirmed that he said swag, but I will always be a quack believer. Truly a thing that changed Geometry Dash forever. This is Sandstorm, the fan favorite to beat Bloodbath, as he was pretty dang good. Not only did he make good progress in the first half, but in the second one as well. To many, he seemed unstoppable. Will Cyclic beat Bloodbath? By the way, let's focus on when will Sandstorm beat it. But that wouldn't last long, as after getting a new best of 36%, he would sadly join Smokes and fall victim to its sheer difficulty. Over the coming months, many more would attempt Bloodbath, but to no avail. People weren't used to this. Prior to Bloodbath, Geometry Dash was a lot different. The community was smaller, and most importantly, the game was less challenging. Never before had two of the best players gone for a level that was proven to be possible and failed. But because of that, it did inspire some to make their own Bloodbath-like levels. The Flawless was one, and it had a red color scheme and dark atmosphere that was heavily influenced by Bloodbath. This theme it had would start to be known as the Hell theme, and it began to be used everywhere. The Hell World, Realm of Bloodshadow, yada garasso, it had gotten so popular that people started to despise its existence. Why are all of the extreme levels Hell themed? Can't we have a Heaven themed hard level for once? I'm so sick of Hell themed levels. No offense. One of those levels stood out though. Aftermath was considered to be one of the hardest levels at the time. It used the rest of Bloodbath song, At the Speed of Light, and became known as the last level of the so-called trilogy, consisting of Cataclysm, Bloodbath, and, of course, Aftermath. It was many players' dream to have it completed. But while Cataclysm and Aftermath could be done with a bit of practice, Bloodbath couldn't. As time passed, hope for the level to be completed diminished. Apart from Smokes returning to it for a short while, and Gyron getting 44%, no one looked capable enough to complete it. That is until... This was by far the most anyone had gotten, passing some of the hardest sections in the level. The player in question was Mabio1, and the weird thing about them was that they had only recently started playing. How could someone so new be so good? Well, some started to suspect that they were not actually new, and were a secret alt account of Riot. Maybe Riot made this as a test to see if Mabi would get accused of hacking, which he didn't, but that's just a theory. If it really is Riot, then GG on beating Bloodbath 2 times, whenever that happens. Here's another theory. Mabi isn't a boy and is actually a girl. She's actually Riot's lost sister. Okay, that last theory just makes no sense. These were quickly debunked though, as both of them had streamed at the same time. While Mabio1 was in Riot, they were still progressing and got 66% about 2 weeks later. For the first time in over 4 months, the dream of someone completing this level didn't seem so out of reach. And on the 13th of February 2016, that dream became a little more real. People couldn't believe their eyes. Mabby had just got 71%. Go, Mabby, go! Come on, you'll be the first to pass it. No, 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 never give up. But after this, he began to struggle. His progress became stagnant, and only 2 months later, he would quit Geometry Dash altogether. Bloodbath had done it again. It had claimed yet another victim. How though? How could not even the best players complete this level? It seemed like every time someone attempted it, they'd inevitably give up midway through. Something seemed off about Riot's recordings. His ship movement was odd. His trail was cutting and his skill was unmatched. What was going on?
144 Hz is just a more clear and more high-tech monitor, but it makes it so your frames are just naturally higher. It matters for input delay and how responsive your movements are in different games, but especially for Geometry Dash, I actually think it's not intended to be. It's not. Not only do the physics change, which makes it easier to control stuff, but like, I think the game just generally becomes easier to control, because like, yeah.
Riot had a 144Hz monitor. It isn't a cheat, but with Bloodbath having tons of the ship game mode, it made it a lot easier.
I think Ship and Wave are like the two most skill-based modes, and they benefit a lot from 144 and like higher refresh rates.
To give you an example, when I recently started playing Bloodbath on 60Hz, I could barely pass the beginning. However, with a higher refresh rate, well, you'll have to wait a bit longer to see how far I got. More and more would start to discover this advantage, and so it wouldn't take long before some extremely skilled players would use it to beat Bloodbath.
I feel like Mabby. I'm Mabby now.
You forgot to put Serve in this list. He has 77% on Bloodbath. The deadlock had been broken. After so many failed attempts, then was in sight. It was just a matter of when it would happen. And then... Surf has 96 on Bloodbath. I can't believe it. He's gonna be the first person to beat Bloodbath. A player named Surf had died mere seconds before the finish line. While this sucked, it meant that any minute he could do it. But unexpectedly, someone else named Quasar would also reach the 90s.
No! 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 No!
Where?
90.
90?
Surf would have to act fast if he wanted to win. Both would battle back and forth for days. This might have seemed pointless, but you have to remember this meant everything. If you became the first to complete Bloodbath, you'd be catapulted into somewhat godlike status. The GOAT, let's say. And on the 13th of March, 2016, Quasar would get this run. Seeing a player other than Riot complete Bloodbath was truly magical. The discovery of 144Hz was a revolution. People were finally able to complete this level. Only 2 weeks later, Surf would become the second victor. Yes! Yes! And then suddenly, something snapped. Souls TRK, RPG Raketi, Trusta, all of these were players that completed Bloodbath. This level didn't seem so impossible anymore, which is why one of the victors of it, Trusta, would go on to do something even harder. Bloodbath was no longer the hardest level, Sakupen Hell had just dethroned it. It was shorter than Bloodbath, but the tight wave gaps and gameplay made it way harder. Riot's #1 spot was looking really fragile, and if he wanted to keep his throne, he'd have to do something quickly. So that's when he found his chance.
I'm gonna get.
No, dude, I really don't feel like this is real. There's no fucking way
Yeah,
he
there's no
actually. He has to be just doing this to fuck himself. What I think is going on is I think he's so pissed at himself for hacking the 2 levels that he's just gonna lie about hacking everything. No, it cannot be real. I've been competing with a hacker the whole time.
His rival, Cyclic, was a hacker. But before Cyclic confessed, he made a level known as Sonic Wave, which was way harder than Bloodbath. Since it was hacked though, it was left unbeaten by anyone. With Riot now needing to keep up with a new wave of players, he saw this as an opportunity to once again prove himself. Over the coming months, Riot would put tens of thousands of attempts trying to complete Sonic Wave, and slowly but surely, he reached closer to the end. However, just like with Cataclysm, Riot would again find himself in the middle of another race. Sonix was a very skilled player and was Riot's main competitor. He progressed insanely fast and it looked pretty dire for Riot. Out of Riot's 2 races, he had only won once. But maybe it was going to happen twice. Now don't get me wrong, this fail sucked, but it sent a message. Riot was going to be the first to beat Sonic Wave. I mean, all he had to do was to pass a few more clicks. What happened next though would shock everyone. Sonic Wave was completed, but not by Riot. Sonix was the one to pull through. Riot had failed. He had lost the race. This devastated him. He knew that he was no longer the best player in Geometry Dash. After this defeat, he dropped Sonic Wave for good and slowly faded away from the community. And his level Bloodbath wasn't doing well either. By the end of 2016, more than 30 people had completed it, and it wasn't even in the top 3 anymore. Was this the end for both of them? Well, maybe not quite, as Nobleboy, one of the victors of Bloodbath, was about to do Riot a favor. This is Bloodlust, an exceptional recreation of Bloodbath. It not only had better designs, but way horror gameplay. If this were to be verified, it would be the best possible successor to Bloodbath.
Absolutely. I think Bloodlust is the perfect remake. Like, genuinely amazing. Even the extension that I think barely anyone expected fits super well.
Over the course of 1.5 years, Nobleboy would pour thousands of hours and attempts into this beast. It truly was something out of this world. And almost 3 years since Bloodbath released, with many doubting he would be able to defeat this beast, he would do the impossible. This was incredible. In a way, Bloodlust kept Bloodbath's legacy alive. It immediately placed at the #1 spot and gathered millions of views. Even if Riot had quit long ago by this point, it must have felt pretty good to see something like this happen. Unfortunately though, Bloodbath would still eventually see its end a few years later.
Well, I don't know if you know this, but I looked into that level specifically because I heard it could be harder. I found that it was harder. It was going to push off Bloodbath. And I was the person that pushed the button on pointercrate.com to add Alphabot X. And right when I clicked it, that's when Bloodbath fell off. I did that.
But that was fine. Bloodbath became a stepping stone for upcoming players, and even someone like me has beaten it.
Oh, the Nixia! I won!
It's an icon to the Geometry Dash community, and it means so much to everyone. However, the crazy thing is, stuff could be a lot different. If it weren't for those 2 specific levels made a year prior, Riot may have never gotten the push he needed to beat Bloodbath. It just goes to show that no matter how small something you make might seem, it can still have an impact on others. I bet these teenagers playing this simple mobile game never knew how much they'd mean to so many people. And maybe, just maybe, someone like you will create a level that will change Geometry Dash forever, just like they did. How would you feel if you verified the hardest level in Geometry Dash?
Oh my god, I did it! Oh, I did it!
What would a journey with thousands of fails look like?
I just threw my one chance of being the first to beat the hardest demon in the game.
Well, back in 2017, a player named Wushi got an offer from the creator True Omega to verify their new level, Crimson Planet. In short, he'd have to get a full run on it without dying to prove it was humanly possible.
I mean, I know I wanted to make a top 1 and verify it.
Luckily for him, this was the hardest level. Progress was going great, as he quickly reached 46%.
Are you kidding me?
However, things would soon take an interesting turn. A level known as Bloodlust had just been verified by Nobleboy and placed immediately at the #1 spot. Suddenly, people began to doubt that Crimson Planet was even going to be the hardest level.
What most people see when they compare these two are just really difficult levels, except Bloodlust is nearly 3 minutes long while Crimson Planet is barely 1 minute.
But Wushi wasn't gonna give up that easily.
I remember I kept buffing it more and more just because I really wanted it to be harder than Bloodlust.
As months passed, he poured thousands and thousands of attempts into this beast, but at times, it felt like he was being overshadowed by other players.
I've never really seen myself as a very prevalent person in the community though, just because, I mean, you know, just feeling overshadowed by these other players with way more subscribers and a lot more people would watch their stream. Like, I think Nobleboy had 2,000 to 3,000 viewers on their live stream.
Despite arguably being the best player at the time, Wushi couldn't feel that way. However, if he verified Crimson Planet, it could change that. Suddenly, he found himself in the last 20%.
What? No. No.
I mean, it sucked, but I was really consistent at it, so it was just a matter of when I would do it rather than if I could do it.
Imagine being literally 3 spikes away from the end, twice, and failing both times. That must feel awful. Out of frustration, Wushi made the last part auto, so when he made it there again, it would be a clear path to victory. And then...
Oh my god, I did it! Oh, I did it! No way! Oh, dude, I did it! Oh my god!
But surprisingly, Wushi didn't feel all that grand after this massive accomplishment.
Really just relief. To be honest, it wasn't as grand as I thought it'd be, and I wonder if that has anything to do with making 92 auto, because, you know, if that had been auto the whole time, then I would have beaten it 3 times by the time I verified it. But it was relieving, that's for sure.
Things wouldn't get any better either. In order for a level to be recognized as the hardest one, Robtop has to give it an in-game star value. Crimson Planet didn't have that.
I gave up hope on it being rated, to be honest. After a few months passed, I just was like, okay, just accepted it.
Rumors even started to spread that Nobleboy, the verifier of Bloodlust, personally told Robtop to not give it an in-game star value so he can have the top one for longer.
Yeah, it did feel a little unfair.
About a year later though, Wushi would get an interesting DM.
I follow Jacob Nugget on Instagram, and I just got a DM from him one morning before school, and he said, "Congrats on Crimson Planet," and he told me he got rated.
Crimson Planet had gotten rated, but it was already too late. Another, even harder level had been verified and placed at the #1 spot before Crimson Planet even got a chance. The level? Zodiac. In all honesty, this came so out of nowhere, it might as well have been randomly generated. Because of its #1 spot, many players began trying it out, and Crimson Planet was yet again left in the dark. But someone watching the verification video of Zodiac noticed that something was off.
Back then, a friend of mine, I won't say who it was just for privacy reasons, but they had, DM'd me all these images and pieces of evidence about, the possibility of it being illegitimate. At first, I didn't think it was bad. I thought it was just kind of whatever. And then after seeing that, kind of put it in my head, like, wait, what if this really is illegitimate,
This was a big deal if true. If the level turned out to be hacked, the first person to beat it would be crowned as the actual verifier instead of whoever hacked it. However, people sorta just brushed off those concerns. Instead, they started a race to see who could beat it the fastest. Becoming the first to beat the hardest level is one of the highest honors in the Geometry Dash community.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
And one player that really wanted to win was Technical.
I mean, I wanted to be first, very, very much. Like, I really, really wanted to be the first to beat, you know, the new top 1 at the time. And it definitely did stress me out a lot more, you know, trying to beat it every single day.
Unfortunately, he was dead last in progress.
Okay, so back then, there were like 5 players trying to beat it first. I was dead last in progress, if I remember correctly.
Despite that, people enjoyed watching his streams. Hundreds tuned in to see this 15-year-old play a Geometry Dash level. Which sounds silly, but it was entertaining.
You have a lot of viewers right now,
Getting far, sorry.
You know what else may be entertaining? Subscribing. Oh, okay, no pressure. That's up to you to decide. A little time passes and he eventually reaches 41%. Putting him from last place to second to last. Okay, that's not much of an improvement, but hey, it is an improvement. By this point, the player in the lead was someone named Girthy. They had 56% and looked to be the most likely first victor.
I respect Girthy very, very much, especially with some of the experiences I've had.
Technical would somewhat catch up and get 48%.
It finally happened!
But it may have been too late. Girthy had just gotten 79%. This was insanely impressive. Just a few hours before him, another player had reached 73% and claimed first place in the race, but Girthy just blew right past them. The place he died at was Penito's part, which wasn't surprising. It's a huge choke point and is one of the main reasons the level is so frustrating to play.
What frustrated me the most was just the level itself, you know, the crazy balancings, a lot of specific clicks being so much more difficult than the others, just the nature of how many choke points were in the level, the length, it just, you know, all that factors into a really, really frustrating level, which is what Zodiac is, pretty much.
But maybe it was like this because Xander, the player who originally verified the level, couldn't tell which parts were actually harder than others.
Like, the level is not balanced well at all, and that's kind of one indicator that the level might have been hack verified because, you know, if you're playing the level illegitimately, you can't really tell, you know, what's actually harder than this, what's actually easier than this.
However, without concrete evidence, people just assumed Xander was legit. If Technical wanted any chance to win the race, a miracle would have to occur. Eventually, he broke the halfway point, reaching 53%. However, this didn't mean much as the rest of the level has some of the hardest parts. TMN with its brutal choke points, and of course, Penito with its tight timings. Overall, it wasn't easy, and the added pressure from his fans didn't help the experience.
People were pressuring me very much to, you know, progress and beat it and everything like that, but in pretty much every situation, you know, someone pressuring you to progress and beat something, it's obviously going to make it a lot more stressful because you're trying to please those people, and with every death, you're making them more and more impatient.
Although, luckily for him, he wasn't the only one with bad luck.
No, please!
Which allowed Technical to catch up.
66.
This was great news for him. By this point in the race, it was him versus Girthy. The other person who had 73% sort of rage quit after seeing Girthy pass him so quickly. Anyhow, Technical would also get a run from 38 to 97%. Despite failing at the last few clicks, he assumed that from 0%, it would be smooth sailing. But to get there, he needed to pass his best.
72 3 times.
I mean, he did, but died at 73% 3 times. Ouch.
There's a certain mental aspect to Zodiac that for some reason makes the level so draining to play from 0.
Dolphy seemed to have the same issue. He hadn't achieved a new best in days. But on the 1st of April 2019, a miracle would occur.
Oh my god!
Oh god.
To say I didn't expect it would be a massive understatement. Like, Penuto and Slim Jim are two extremely stressful parts, not only because they're difficult, but because they're so late in the level. The fact that I died at 73 3 times, I think it was, and then from there I just fluked all of that and got to 90%. That definitely revitalized my motivation to play, to finally finish it off. Being in the lead was something that I really could not comprehend.
This was incredible. Technical was going to win the race. But as the old parable of the rabbit and the turtle says, slow and steady wins the race, and Dolphy was getting more consistent by the day. A fluke from 79% would not be unlikely. However, Technical was chilling. He had 90%. What could possibly go wrong?
Today is day 28 on Zodiac.
Today quite possibly could be the day.
Honestly, like straight up.
Please, 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 please don't die somewhere stupid. I'm at 93. My heart is beating out of my chest.
97! No! Oh my god! No! 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 No!
No!
Oh my god!
No! Alex! Alex, why?
3% away. 3% from beating the hardest level ever made yet so far. I was there, along with many others cheering him on, but unfortunately, it wasn't enough.
When I saw that screen, I was like, okay, I just threw my one chance of, being the first to beat the hardest demon in the game. And when I tell you, like, I was pretty upset.
Time was ticking for the first victor.
The community and my friends especially definitely helped and allowed me to push through to the end.
I beat it! Oh my god! Yay! Oh my god, I beat Zodiac! Holy crap! No way! No way! No way! I just beat Zodiac! Holy... Oh my god! No way! Oh my god!
For like
a
minute, I just kind of sat there and I was like, wow, I just beat the hardest level in the game. And that sentence, being able to say that about myself is, such an extremely rewarding thing. It was pretty surreal, to say the least. And then after that, I was like, wait, nobody else has beaten this except for me, obviously, except for Xander.
Dolphy would come second, only 3 days later.
Then I was like, wow, that was really close. I almost wasn't first.
It almost kind of like, I wasn't that surprised, to be honest with you. I guess it makes sense. Obviously was disappointed, but yeah.
I was more confused because I wasn't super into the story, but I heard Technical became the new verifier, and I'm like, oh, it's a new demon list rule, guys. First victor is the new verifier.
I hacked Zodiac. The title has been changed, and all other recordings have been labeled accordingly.
The first thought in my head was, what? I really didn't know how to feel. I thought Xander beat it this whole time, but after like 20 minutes of letting it process, the next thought in my head was, I am one of 2 people on the planet to have completed this level 100% legitimately, and I was the first to do that. And that thought that I had technically verified the hardest level in the game, to say that the thought is like none that I've ever experienced would be another understatement. It's kind of hard to explain how I felt because it was such a conflicting feeling, if you know what I mean.
It turned out all of those suspicions people had of Xander's legitimacy were correct. This was huge. This meant that Xander wasn't the verifier and that the title went to technical. Worst thing is that Xander wasn't taking the situation seriously at all. So he jokingly updated the level to this. Bruh. This forced the moderators to remove Zodiac from the list, which meant that technically it was no longer the hardest level. So which one was it? Well, Crimson Planet.
I mean, I know I wanted to make a top 1.
Yeah, originally the level didn't get placed at number 1 because of Zodiac, but now, ironically, claimed the top spot because of it. I guess justice would be served in the end. Although, this update would be reverted shortly after. Zodiac would then go and sit at the top for over 9 months, before being dethroned by Tartarus, a level which, poetically, was verified by Dolphy. As for Crimson Planet, despite being moved to number 2 again, it would go on and get many victors, finally getting its deserved recognition. Over 4 years have passed since then, and both have moved on to other things. Technical has grown to over 100,000 subscribers and is currently studying in college. As for Wuxi,
been taking classes in psychology, and this will be my final year in university, or undergrad at least.
difficulty has evolved so much that these levels are now considered a fraction of their past. The skill it takes to beat the hardest level nowadays is unimaginable. But the next page in Geometry Dash history is waiting to be written. The grind, the fails needed to beat a new hardest level is something you would never forget. The experience would not only be a result of immense hardship, but also a direct reflection of a player's inner self, and what led them to try something so insurmountable. At the end of the day, how it feels to verify the hardest level in Geometry Dash says more about the individual rather than the feat itself. There once was a Geometry Dash player regarded as the best of the time. Everyone had their eyes on him. But strangely enough, after a series of terrible events, this player suddenly fell into obscurity.
I mean, I'm not gonna sugarcoat this one, it kinda sucked.
How did the number one player become forgotten? This is RG. He started by playing the game casually and enjoyed the fun stuff it had to offer. He soon learned about the stats viewer on the demon list, which ranked the best players in Geometry Dash. This would motivate him a ton to improve.
Because I loved climbing it and like having a growing portfolio.
Soon enough, he ranked around top 25 and gained a sizable audience. However, he'd be quickly overshadowed by a rising star. N-Switch was the fastest growing player at the time. He was beating level after level with record low attempt counts and had set his eyes on the number one spot. But being number one wasn't enough for him. He wanted to complete the main list of the demon list, which means beating the top 75 hardest levels. This would be the hardest challenge ever attempted in the game. However, after this monstrous feat, N-Switch grew less and less active.
I would guess that it just got repetitive. Obviously, when you have a position like that, like number one, you want to upkeep it, but maybe it just got boring, and if upkeeping it becomes a chore, then like, what's the point of it if you're not enjoying it?
His number one spot was now up for grabs. However, through his intense grind, the gap between him and anyone else was massive. Overtaking him would take tons of effort and would need someone dedicated and determined enough. The second player to end Switch, however, was somebody you wouldn't expect. RG. While N-Switch was grinding, RG had been steadily gaining points and went from top 25 to one of the best. However, despite being number 2, he didn't really have the confidence to think so highly of himself.
A lot of other top players, especially at certain eras of the game, they let me know that they didn't think I was as strong as them, which is fine. They're entitled to that opinion.
Do you think there could have been any other factors that contributed to you being forgotten?
The thing is, I just kind of don't know. I'm not saying I'm like a helpless victim, it's an act of the devil or something. I'm sure I did make mistakes. I just don't particularly know what those mistakes were. I kind of just thought the achievement of getting number 1 would speak for itself, because I feel like that's how most people sort of gained their platform, just through their achievement.
Passing N-Switch wasn't going to be easy, especially when RG didn't even know if you could keep his number 2 spot.
RG, when you hear this, don't hate me, but I genuinely did not think it would be him. I actually really thought it would be Speartex, and I think a lot of people did.
Speartex was a player who was gaining points fast. While they were behind RG by quite a few spots, if RG didn't pick up the pace, he'd lose his chance at the number 1 spot. But contrary to what most would do in his position, he would take a different approach to grinding.
If you don't have fun playing, then you're just not going to keep playing. It's just that simple, really. And I think a reason why RG still plays is because he takes fun as a huge factor, and he makes all of his completions just like really fun experience by like making stupid like troll intros, like bruh.
Those intros are probably like the thing I'm most passionate about on my channel.
By keeping a good attitude, the gap between him and N-Switch was shrinking. However, there was a flaw in RG's playing style.
For me, I always interpreted a certain range of levels, like mostly the top 10, and I just interpreted them as like off limits for me. Like I haven't unlocked them yet.
What made you go for a top 10 like eventually?
I would say just preparation, or over preparation actually. The top 10 I'm thinking of that I did was Tartarus, and that took me like...
RG was strangely unconfident in beating top 10 levels. These would be necessary to pass N-Switch first, since they give tons of points which others would surely take advantage of. To overcome that, he'd build up his confidence by slowly working his way up there.
Crimson Planet was one of the first times I kind of said, fuck it, I need to do something harder than what I'm doing.
No way! No way!
Another time I tried something really hard, and it was like the polar opposite experience because it was absolutely miserable. It was like one of the first times where beating something hard really felt hopeless for me.
However, something pretty crazy was about to happen.
Flyborg expected Canada. RG? What?
Did you feel like you had done something wrong or weren't worthy for...
Definitely, and I remember like obsessively tracing my past to see where I had gone so wrong and like what mistakes I could have made. Why did I get so trampled in like the GD award votes, and why didn't I sort of build a name for myself? Because I mean, it is my responsibility at the end of the day, so I'm sure whatever regrets I have in this game, they come down to some sort of error by me.
Given his low amount of attention at the time, I really wasn't expecting it, but to see the nomination made me extremely happy.
Getting nominated in the Geometry Dash Awards is something truly very special.
After the wave of shock passed, it was pretty incredible.
As the results they drew closer and closer, RG would get a whopping 2.6% of the votes.
Bruh. Maybe it's a bit of a bummer, but I wasn't like blindsided by it.
I think 7 minutes! What the f-
RJ was picking up the pace. By beating level after level, his confidence was increasing.
Let's go, baby!
RJ was incredibly persistent, but Spirtex was catching up. It now started to seem less likely that RJ would be the first to overtake Enswish.
When space started to initially grow and kind of get better and better and better, I was like, cool, another player to throw into the ring of everybody on the stats viewer. But that being said, as he started to grow and grow super fast, I was like, okay, this guy is for real.
Space is popping off. Yay, Space! Space is a good. Space, how are you so cracked? It's because I hack. Obviously.
I don't know why, this specific scenario, I was so confident about either Speartex, Wolves, Space, or Crisis passing me at the very end.
Despite this, he wouldn't let that demotivate him. He still needed to build more confidence to attempt the top 1.
Yes! Yeah!
Getting Omega interface meant a ton to me.
It was time.
Over preparation, actually. I was sort of scared of being top 10.
RG did it! He beat the hardest level in the game. But it slowly started to feel like everything was happening slightly too late.
I think it is a fair feeling that I kind of feel a bit forgotten when people say that, because like that's kind of what is happening there. Especially since even for people who do remember that it was me, certain details of it have been lost in time just because of how, I guess, the situation just fizzled out.
It had been over a year and a half since Enswish ascended to the top. His reign was coming to a close.
When you were like very close and you were like, maybe there is a chance I could do this, what did it like mean to you to try to become number 1 on the stats viewer?
It meant like everything, because it was like the culmination of everything I'd done in the game.
But then...
Я прошел.
Spirtex surpassed RG. All hope seemed lost. He was only 6 points away from passing Enswish.
I actually really thought it would be Speartex.
An opportunity appeared. Speartex had gone on vacation. He wouldn't be able to play for the next week. This was perfect for RG. He had gotten a chance. He just needed one more level to tip the scale.
Lots of people, just everyone was very supportive, and it was nice because it kind of made up for the confidence I didn't have. I don't have all the time in the world to just die. Like, I needed to wrap it up. It was just so insane having an achievement that nobody else had. Like an achievement that was higher than literally everyone else. And by above everything else, I mean like number 1's above number 2 and such. Not the best achievement in the game. I'm not narcissistic, but it was still just so cool.
He did it. He passed Enswish, the best player of all time. But as the days passed, it seemed like this victory wouldn't last very long. This player came out of nowhere. all of a sudden he was threatening to take RG's spot.
He went from formidable to sort of terrifying, like suddenly.
RG knew deep down he stood no chance. Three weeks. A measly 3 weeks is how long RG was number 1. Everyone's eyes suddenly shifted from him to Space UK.
I mean, I'm not gonna sugarcoat this one. It kind of sucked. Because after so much build-up from me getting the top spot, it felt like I just kind of fizzled out. Not my best moment.
Perhaps though, the strangest feeling of them all was that his motivation, the fun he focused so hard on having, wasn't there anymore.
It took me a bit longer to realize that I wasn't having any fun and I was just doing it because of my schedule. And then I had to like look back and be like, what the hell am I doing? This is like a chore.
The 2021 Geometry Dash Awards would also eventually come by and RG got nominated. However, all that was puny compared to Space UK's dominance.
Did you feel like you had done something wrong or weren't worthy for the number 1 spot when you got overtaken so fast?
Definitely, and I remember like obsessively tracing my past to see where I had gone so wrong and like what mistakes I could have made.
Yes, dude! I did that one! I did that one!
I would call this the largest scale hacking scandal we have ever seen in this game.
Everything else was hacked, and it was not a super complicated method.
And at first I was like straight up in denial because I was like just so blasé and chill about it. I was like, yeah, this isn't a big deal. And then obviously after a bit I realized, oh wait, no, this is a lot bigger than that.
Nobody could believe their eyes. The best player was cheating for years. So much of Geometry Dash history messed up. So many players hurt. But sadly, hardly anyone realized how much this affected RG. He got overtaken so fast by Space UK that people forgot that he was the one who dethroned the beast that was Enswish. On top of that, he could have stayed much longer on the top. Space UK had killed his motivation and confidence. Would he even be able to get over this?
I'm not really sure if I thought number 1 would help with self-confidence, but I can surely say that it didn't help with it. As for me, I do think I would have definitely been much better off without him, especially since part of the reason I got so demotivated was because of him, because he passed me so fast. I'm not saying I'm like a helpless victim, it's an act of the devil or something. I'm sure I did make mistakes. I just don't particularly know what those mistakes were.
How often do you think about this whole thing?
Probably too much. It's kind of like an itch that won't go away because I think about it a lot. I don't know if I'll be able to get over it until I have like a new form of like achievement and self-actualization.
As time went on, we eventually managed to beat every single level
Seen in this game.
He was forced to confess. It was not something that he did willingly.
It changed an entire 2 years of Geometry Dash top player history.
I know how much money you made from YouTube. It wasn't a small amount.
All of us have that one game that we share a very special connection with. Either because it helped us get through a rough time in our life, or it allowed us to meet others and form long-term friendships. In my case, that game is Geometry Dash, a silly little mobile game that you even might have had on your phone at some point. But do not let that undersell you on the absolute insanity that has occurred over the years in this game, because it turns out I was not alone. There's millions of other players that enjoy the game just as much as I do, and when a community like that forms, it is only natural for the game to become competitive.
Oh my god! Ben! What? I just beat EXO!
It is hard to put into words the amount of skill these players have. From executing almost pixel-perfect movements to pushing the limits of what humans can do in this game. Tons of friendly rivalries have formed over the years, with top players helping each other out and cheering each other on. It was all about pushing the limits together. However, the story that I'm gonna tell you today is what happens when one of those players decides that everyone else is worth jack shit. Welcome to Geometry Dash. Originally starting as a mobile game, it was eventually released on Steam a year later. The gameplay is actually very similar to the old classic The Impossible game, but with way more layers added on top of it, including an editor. This means anyone can go and create their own unique user levels and upload them to the servers for others to play. This feature alone is basically what has carried this game over the years. The developer himself clearly has shown no signs of maintaining the game on an active basis, which means we rely on players to create levels and content to play. And oh my god, they do it well. This game is truly blessed with one of the most passionate and creative communities out there. A badge that we should wear proudly wherever we go. But it's not just on the creative side where players have pushed the limits over the years. Just like in any game, with difficulty comes glory. One of the most prestigious titles any player can hold is to be the verifier of the current hardest level. The community has gathered over the years to create a list that ranks levels based on their difficulty, with the level that sits on the throne on top being the current hardest level that anyone has ever beaten. An absolute horrid and treacherous task that has taken a toll on many of the best players in the game. Beating a top 1 demon is not something that you do overnight. It's a journey that can take hundreds of thousands of attempts to complete. But at the end, you stand as a true symbol of determination and skill, with everyone's attention on you. So what would happen if someone tried faking their way to the top?
A lot of people say that anyone can beat anything in this game, which I personally kind of believe. On one end, it's just kind of like a dedication thing, but because the game is so simple by nature, the number 1 player is kind of like what you should reach after. Kind of like a swimmer trying to become Michael Phelps, right? But without the genetic advantage.
The history of the number 1 player actually goes really far back. Over the years, a countless number of players have actually shared that title. Whoever was considered the best player was actively beating the hardest levels and pushing the boundaries of this game further. This title, however, would always be in contention. For a majority of this game's lifespan, it actually always was a group of players that was hanging around at the top. You would have constant rivalries with both sides just pushing each other further and further. And while they were having an end-of-the-world Dragon Ball fight up there, the rest of the community was trying to keep up. From an outsider's point of view, this was absolutely amazing to watch. Sitting around in streams all day, watching them throw attempt after attempt at what seemed to be an unbreakable wall. It's like rooting for your favorite football team. You want them to succeed, you want them to beat that level because you know how much work and effort that they put into it. There's a certain level of trust that the community has between them and the top players. Trust that sadly has been abused in the past before. As I explained in my Impossible Levels video, one of the biggest rivalries in Geometry Dash history was between Riot and Cyclic. And if you watched that video, you know how that turned out. It turned out Cyclic had cheated everything. Apparently, not a single one of his completions that we all knew him for, that we all loved him for, was legit. This is something that struck a dagger deep into the heart of the community. Up until that point, it wasn't really precedented that a community figure, someone that we all looked up to, would abuse our trust in such a blatant way. And you would think that from that, people would have learned. When you cheat, sure, short term, you get lots of attention and people think you're actually good at the game. But long term, you're not only hurting yourself, but an entire community of genuine, hardworking players. And the person I'm gonna talk about today, for some reason, just didn't get that.
He was hard to comprehend in terms of skill, just because he was such a weird player that you've never really seen before.
Like, he was beating stuff way faster than anything or anyone else. Like, it was something like people have never seen before. It was like way faster than N-Swish, like faster than anyone.
Put yourself in the mind of a player in 2020. At this point, the game has almost 7 years of incredible achievements on its back. We went from hating on hard levels to them becoming the spectacles of the community. But even then, at this point in 2020, new players were improving faster than ever. This was an era defined by a new generation of incredibly versatile players that were beating things at a faster rate than ever before. Tartarus, the hardest level at the time, had just received some competition. A new level was just added to the Demonist, and some people were saying it's harder than Tartarus. This means that for the first time in roughly 5 months, a level was actively competing with Tartarus for the #1 spot on the Demonist. This is a list that archives and ranks the 150 hardest levels that currently have been completed by a player. There was a lot of hype around this level. Just like Tartarus, it seemed to push the boundaries of what was possible at the time. It took the verifier N-Swish, who was considered the current best player, 2 entire months and 52,000 attempts to beat it. The moment this happened, a ton of top players immediately rushed to give it a try and get progress themselves. These players included Swyborg, Rory, Wolves, Crisis, and Doggy. All players that were about to become household names in the community. However, there was one player that kinda stood out from the rest. Someone almost nobody had heard of at the time. Space UK. This guy was a nobody, to put it bluntly. Before this, only some players were actually even aware of his existence to begin with. But that's only part of the reason why this completion is kinda special. Apparently, it was his 5th ever demon.
I beat the golden.
Oh, you beat it?
Oh, yeah. Holy shit, that was 1 attempt. Holy shit.
That was like, hearing the golden as a top 1 being your like 5th demon or whatever was unheard of.
To the naked eye, he came out of nowhere. Like, we knew he existed and knew he was doing it, but no one really cared until he actually did it.
This was insane. A demon is the hardest difficulty rating a level can receive, and it is split into 5 subsections, ranging from easy demon to extreme demon. Up until this point, beating any level that has reached extreme demon status would normally be a months-long journey, where you would consistently practice and hone your skills to prepare yourself for an upcoming battle. You would not just do this overnight. Playing an extreme demon is one of the toughest things you can do in this game, and even then, just being categorized as an extreme demon doesn't even mean that it's in the demonist. There's tons of extreme levels out there now, but we only actively keep track and rank the top 150. Here is why this entire thing was kinda insane. This is Space UK's progression as a player. He started playing the game roughly in 2019 and then beat his first ever demon, Decode. A really easy demon that is a great introduction to playing harder levels in the game. As his second ever demon, he immediately decided to jump to an insane demon, Windy Landscape. As his third, he decided to go for another insane demon, Leyak. That already kinda was amazing. New players should not choose insane demons as their second and third ever. You're supposed to show a gradual increase in difficulty, which in turn helps you practice different skill sets. From having a heavy focus on the wave game mode to being memory based, there's tons of different styles that you should actively practice. So, what did Space do next?
A lot of people give Space credit to be like the original jumper. And with jumping, it basically means going from one level to a much, much significantly harder level. And Space was like the pioneer of that method, going for the number 2 demon at the time as his 5th.
It's really hard to put into perspective how big of a jump this is. This was the moment that first catapulted him into the mainstream community. And little did people know that this was still just the start.
Oh, this level's so shit. This level's so fucking shit.
Not only did he beat the Golden, but 3 months after that, decided to go for Tartarus. And a month after that, for Zodiac. At this point in time, this player that just came out of nowhere had beaten the entire top 5 hardest levels ever. He was slowly cementing himself as the fastest improving player the game had ever seen. And he wouldn't stop there. It was level after level after level. He just started destroying the demon list.
It was also just like mind-blowing and impressive to just see someone so nonchalantly like shred the entire demon list. Like, there's no better way to put it. He just shredded everything.
Damn. It seemed like he was here to stay. Throughout 2021, he would just be on a tear, gaining more respect and therefore more attention with every completion that he uploaded. It was so insane, in fact, that it would actually lead to his nomination as the best player of 2021, alongside Crisis, Wolves, and Trick. But there's probably one more thing that I forgot to mention. It's October the 24th. Tartarus was roughly 1 month away from having its 2nd anniversary on top of the list. No other level in the history of the game has survived this long on top. The only one that ever came close in any way was Bloodlust with its 1 year and 2 month reign on top. This is an achievement filled with tons of history that would kinda deserve a video on its own. But the reason I'm telling you this is because on this date, Tartarus was denied its 2nd anniversary on the top.
I can't fucking react, otherwise I'm gonna cough so much. Oh my god.
It was verified by Space UK in what's known as the closed verification race. This is when the original creators of the level choose a specific amount of players to just race for the verification, almost as a sort of, here it is and good luck. This means that for the case of Slaughterhouse, any of these 13 players could have been the first to beat the level legit in a big race for glory. Whoever survived it first would have their name written down as the player to push the limits of the game to a whole new level. And that is exactly what Space did. Space was such a dominant force in that race that people were already using it as a reason to nominate Space as the best player for that year, which we now know he won, by a landslide at that. This alone would already be insanely impressive by itself. But Slaughterhouse was special. It wasn't just a level to one-up Tartarus so it could get placed a step above. It was a leap in difficulty. To show you just how much it was ahead of its time, to this day, in May 2023, Slaughterhouse sits on the number 4 spot on the demon list. Oh, look who it is. Oh. Tartarus sits at number 22. Do you realize how insane that is? The longest surviving level to ever be on top has been pushed down by 21 spots in 1.5 years. As you can see, a lot of stuff has happened in those 2 years, and Space would play a really big part in that. People weren't aware of it back then, but the next 2 years were about to become known as the Slaughterhouse era. The level would remain on top for the next 10 months, which is a testament to how fast players were actually improving. At this point, Space had overtaken the rest of the world and was officially crowned the #1 player purely based on stats alone. That would be a title that he would hold for a really long time, because you see, he was nowhere near his peak yet.
I'd be Arcturus, I think.
Wow, you literally just got 91.
Yes! Ah! Yes, let's f***ing go, man. Oh my god, bro. I can't, man. This level's so bad. Yes, dude! Oh my god, yes. No. This is f***ing... Oh my god, bro. Oh my god. Yes! Yo, I just beat Kiyuki.
No, you didn't.
I did. I just beat it. Wait, what?
Oh, okay.
Oh my god, okay. Okay, cool. Keep going, bro. I beat Akron! I just 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 beat Akron!
At this point, he basically had achieved everything a player can achieve in this game. Acheron marked the 3rd time that Space had conquered a new top 1 demon over the years. He eventually also went on to not only beat the top 10, not only beat the top 20, but the entire main demonist. Yeah, all 75 levels completed by just one player. I can only imagine how many upcoming players were actually looking up to him at this point. He must have been such a big inspiration to so many people. Space himself was doing absolutely amazing. His YouTube channel was popping off. He had garnered the respect of every player in the community, and it seemed like he would go down in the game's history for being the best player to ever touch this game. Until April 2023, where one notable player finally dared to ask the question, "Hey Space, why do your clicks not line up with your gameplay?"
I would call this the largest scale hacking scandal we've ever seen in this game.
He was forced to confess. It was not something that he did willingly.
It changed an entire 2 years of Geometry Dash top player history.
I know how much money you made from YouTube. It wasn't a small amount.
The date is April 24th, 2023. Space UK was undeniably at his peak, with 2 Best Player awards, the #1 spot on the leaderboards, and a YouTube channel with millions of views. He was the best player the game had ever seen. On this day, he would also be banned from competing, with his legacy undone forever.
He was forced to confess. It was not something that he did willingly.
Space hacking is not victimless. There are a ton of people who have been directly affected, and a lot of my friends were.
I know how much money you made. How can you make that much money and not feel guilty?
I mean, I remember when they took his records off the demon list, I remember talking about it with him in like a private group chat. He just said that they were just checking because there was a new hacking method found or something and they wanted to just be sure. So I never really thought that he hacked.
Space's account had suddenly just disappeared from the demonist stats viewer. When this happens, this usually can only mean one or two things. He either quit the game and deleted his account, or...
I remember just seeing his profile being off the list, and I was confused, like at that time, because no one really had any information. But I was like, I wouldn't be surprised if he ended up being cheating by that point, because I connected the dots by that point already.
The community was left in a pretty confusing situation. Nobody really knew what was going on until... It turns out, while they were looking into space for another reason, the headless moderator Paco found something else.
There had been a discussion about a person who had come up with some new ways of hacking that we would be able to catch, but that would require a decent amount of searching for. And I had thought that this person was in connection with Space UK, and that ended up not being true. But when I looked at his Acheron video, it turned out that some things were pretty off about it.
What Paco had noticed was not something that you would just casually see or even look for. Really tiny and inconsistent variations in his click timings. This means that one of his clicks could be completely frame perfect, but the next jump would be 2 frames delayed, or maybe 3. Some even had a delay of 5 entire frames, which was not normal, to say the least. But hey, it could have been anything, honestly. A bad recording software like Shadowplay might introduce tiny delays into recordings.
I didn't think a ton of it, but I went on to check another one of his things, and I noticed that same sort of issue rising up each time that I checked.
Paco also found something else, however. Around 6% in this completion from space, you can hear a mysterious second click. This immediately was seen as a giant red flag, because usually this was a sign of a player using a macro, which is a third-party tool that sort of allows you to record inputs and then have the game play them back for you, creating what looks like a normal run to everyone else. But if Space was using a macro, why can we hear his mouse clicks throughout the entire completion? Oh no.
Obviously, it's incredibly difficult to go out and make a claim like, I think the best player ever is cheating, because making the claim is just such an outlandish thing unless you have 100% proof, which was surprisingly difficult to find.
So, considering all of the inconsistencies, Paco decided enough was enough. The video will go up on the 25th of April. The community was set ablaze. It was honestly a mixed camp, with one side thinking it was a shitpost and the other side finally connecting the dots. If this was true, this would mean that every completion that Space uploaded after becoming the second player to ever beat the entire main list were cheated. Just to remind you, this includes Acheron, the #1 hardest level at the time. These completions were some of Space's most recent heavy achievements that the community praised him for, and now we had reasonable proof to believe that he cheated all of them. So, where was Space in all of this? Well, later on that day, he would respond. Every main list after my Sephiroth main list completion in May 8th, 2022 was hacked. I lost interest in actually playing the game and wanted to see how long I could go without being caught. Hacked completions include Aerial Gleam, Oblivion, Abyss of Darkness, The Hallucination, Q-Key. Oh, I forgot, Acheron 2. This was a deep blow to the community. He admitted to cheating basically every single completion in the past year, which included Acheron. He said it so nonchalantly too. He just got bored of the game and wanted to see how long he could get away with it, as if the community and all its players trying their best to compete were just a bunch of toys he could play with. I also love how he just forgot for a second that he cheated Acheron too, something odd that didn't go unnoticed. The band-aid was off. Space came out and admitted to cheating the past year of his achievements. Countless First Victor titles that symbolized his dominance in the game basically meant null now. But honestly, everyone makes mistakes. Maybe the pressure you receive as a top player got to him and eventually led to him cheating. He still was a great player. The last year of faking his accomplishments should not completely nullify the insane achievements from 2021. You know, verifying Slaughterhouse and being voted as the best player of that year. I'm sorry, Dean, but the second band-aid needs to come off too.
So yeah, like I said, I woke up and I got a DM and it said, "Good job on verifying Slaughterhouse." And I was like, "There's no way this guy actually, like, there's no way this can be real. Like, there's no way this actually just happened."
The moment Space was exposed on the first day, a massive investigation into all his completions and all his raw footage was started. In that investigation, not much came up. He would pass all the normal checks a legit player would too. The only things that were a reoccurring problem in almost all of his raw footage were the inconsistent click timings. But one person from the challenge list found something else. A watermark.
The creator of Zbot was in closer connection to the challenge list than the demon list. So he had posted about the watermark at some point, but it had never really gotten widespread knowledge throughout the demon list as a whole. But he looked back through old messages, I believe, and found that there was a watermark and decided to check it with Space's stuff, and it came up as hacked.
Wow. Modding is a big part of Geometry Dash today. It makes the game more accessible for less fortunate players that can't afford 240Hz monitors, for example. They offer a wide variety of quality of life improvements that make everyone's experience with the game better. However, since the dawn of GD modding, there always have been big concerns about people using mods for nefarious reasons like cheating completions and trying to pass them off as legit. For this reason, mod authors have worked together with the list teams over the years to include really obscure and tiny watermarks in their mods. Watermarks that only they and the list teams know about. This means that if anyone would try and pass off a modified run as a legit one, the demon list moderators could check for these watermarks to see if anything fishy was going on. And exactly this is what turned Space from just another cheater to the biggest fraud the game has ever seen.
And it's been so long, like 2021. Did I really just not know it for all this time? So that was all the thoughts running through my mind. And I open, Twitter, and I just see, Space UK. I hacked Slaughterhouse. I hacked Acheron. Everything, whatever. Everything I beat past the golden has been hacked.
Seemingly overnight, Doggy was promoted from first victor of Slaughterhouse to the actual first player to ever beat that level legit. It wasn't Space who verified Slaughterhouse, it was Doggy. All because of a measly 64 pixels on the level completion screen. The Zbot watermark that eventually got Space caught changes the size of the level complete text at the end of every level completed. It doesn't change it in an obvious way, it changes it by 64 pixels. But that's not all. Because of how the game works, even a texture pack or stuff like that would not really be able to circumvent this. Because it's not really the size change that we're looking at the ratio between the level complete text upon entering the finish and the level complete text in the menu that appears after. Normally, these two texts side by side have a ratio of approximately 72%. But if you activate Zbot at any point during the completion, that ratio shrinks to a 68.12%. And this is what got Space caught. Because it turns out, almost all of his completions have this watermark. And combined with the fact that we know he has inconsistent click timings in all of his raw footage, we basically can confirm that what he did was learn a level to the point where he would have every input memorized. He then would record a macro that would activate upon pressing a predetermined keybind, and then he would record himself playing the first 5 to 10% legit, activating the macro and just clicking over the inputs just to fake the audio. This was Space's method that got him past all proof checks for almost 3 years. But how? How did this slip for so long? The answer is surprisingly complicated.
Not only was he pretty decent at the way that he was hacking, but he was incredibly good at sort of socially engineering the way in which he interacted with people to come off as legit.
He was actually a good player, so it didn't look suspicious on stream and when he was in calls with us, because he actually could play the levels. He did learn them and actually play them, but when it came to completing them, he didn't do that. He just botted them.
From an outsider's point of view, it's easy to blame the Demon List mods for not checking all these things way earlier. They should have been more skeptical of him, especially at the start, when he beat the Golden as his 5th ever demon. But What an outsider won't know is that Space's rise to fame was in an era where cheat detection just wasn't as developed as it is now. He was able to kickstart momentum in an era where other players were doing ridiculous things already. It was easy to point at players like Enswish and almost use them as a sort of alibi for Space. If people like Enswish could do it, why not him? This allowed him to get the ball rolling at the perfect moments, and once he had momentum, it sort of became a feedback loop. The mere fact that a player that was so prevalent and in your face about how good he was hasn't been caught yet gave him credit. Why look into him when it seems so obvious that he would have been caught already if he really was faking it? If you combine this with the fact that he was friends with most of the top players, it is maybe easier to understand why certain things were just overlooked. This, in my opinion, is basically why it took so long for him to get caught.
Like I said, Space was a social engineer. That's kind of what pushed him to be legit in people's eyes. It wasn't about how he was playing. It was about how he treated the game, how he was so nice in the community, how he was so genuine, it seemed like. That everyone kind of blindly believed him off of that and didn't really assume he was hacking at any point.
I don't even think it's impossible to imagine that he could have been a hacker. I think it's more impossible to imagine that we didn't catch him yet. So it's like he just can't be.
If there is any lesson that I was taught through this entire situation, it's that the best way to lie is to tell the truth. And you will see later on what I mean by that. Nah, this guy. What? But until then, I kind of want to divert the attention away from Space. There has been so many people that were hurt by his actions. From players that got years of their lives stolen from them, to others who would have received so much more attention and success if it wasn't for Space. Let's talk about the players who actually deserve to be in the spotlight. Oh, you actually were number one at some point?
Yeah, I mean, I was number one once when Space removed his profile.
That's the only reason you were number one is because he temporarily removed his profile.
So if he never was there, I would have been number one for quite a bit of time, I think.
Fuck, how does that feel?
Oh, it feels kind of shit. It feels like a punch to the gut.
Damn, you basically got robbed.
Yeah.
Wolves was considered one of the best players around 2021. He is currently the world record holder of most extreme demons ever beaten, sitting at over 450 completed extremes. An achievement like this is not something you can do in a couple of months. It's something that takes years of hard work and determination. And the worst thing about all of this is he actually was kind of close to Space. They were friends.
Yeah, he said here as well on our Twitter DMs, he said, me removing my list profile probably makes more sense now. Like, he considered it to just remove and stop, but he was just so addicted to being above everyone else, so he came back. That's like what makes me think that he just doesn't care. He just thinks about himself.
Wolves is one of 6 players that were affected by Space in this way. If it wasn't for Space cheating himself to the top, they would have been considered the best player instead, which is something that they will never be able to get back. Some other names include Spiritex, ThunderBT, Jeller, Snowballer, and Crisis. At that moment in time, right, like leading right up to the whole exposal, were you still in close contact with Space at that moment? Like a VC the day before? Like,
yeah.
Oh shit.
We've been talking like basically daily for 2 years.
Damn. Out of all of the people I interviewed, Crisis probably was the closest to Space. And just like Wolves, they kinda were rivals.
2. I was number 2 behind Space for a long time.
Oh shit, okay.
Yep. Never could get number 1.
Do you remember like roughly how long you kept that number 2 spot?
I guess like 4 to 6 months.
Imagine being friends with someone for over 2 years, just to later find out that they have been actively lying to your face the entire time. Not just a harmless lie either, you were competing against each other, something that especially between friends should happen on a basis of fairness and trust. But for some reason, no matter how hard you try, you can never catch up. And then one day, you find out why. Not because your friend wanted to tell you, but because he was forced to tell you.
A day later, they announced that he just hacked everything, and that really hit me deep. I was happy and sad and annoyed at the same time. I was happy at first because I realized that I was actually number 1 for a while, but then I realized that I never got the feeling of being number 1, so it didn't feel good.
Wolves and Crisis were, and to this day are, some of the best players this game has ever seen. To know that they never really got their chance to be at the top just because of space feels horrible.
Oh, were you the first victor of Firework?
I was, yeah. I mean, after space.
Yeah. Without space, Firework would have been the #1 level at the top, because he would have never verified Slaughterhouse. This would mean that Crisis would have been the first victor of that level instead of space, with the verifier being Trick, who also has his story to tell.
There's a level called Firework that I was playing for around a year, but I knew the level way before that.
What does Firework mean to you?
Firework meant basically the entire game for me at the time that I was verifying it, because Firework was just kind of my big break in the community. Like, it was so fast, everyone just knew me all of a sudden. I was never used to being in the limelight like that. So it means a lot to me in terms of everything that I've done in the game. It's kind of my symbol.
Okay. Trick was an upcoming player looking to prove himself to everyone at the time. To do that, he promised the original creators of Firework that he could verify it and make it become the #1 hardest demon in the game. And with that, began his 1-year-long journey to try and prove to everyone that he was good enough to beat it. During this journey, he spent roughly 234,000 attempts.
I was trying to verify it, to prove to basically everyone that I was actually a good player and that, you know, I deserved the verification. Because at that time, you know, no one knew me, so everyone just thought I was going to drop it like everyone else did. There was like 7 verifiers before me that were all top players and they couldn't do it.
They all dropped it?
Yeah, like it was all top players too. It was like really notable top players in the community. Firework was just so far ahead of anything in difficulty during the time that I don't even think any top player felt it to be reasonable.
At some point in Trick's journey, the whole Slaughterhouse thing happened. It was announced that there would be a closed verification race, and Trick was even invited to be part of it.
Around when Doggy dropped it and there became a verification race, that I first played the level and realized, like, damn, this level's way harder than Firework. And like I really got scared. And then when Space started progressing just like so quickly on it, like, that was really hard for me.
All of a sudden, this level basically came out of nowhere, threatening to throw all of Trick's hard work straight out the window. At this point, he almost was a year into his journey of verifying Firework, and to see Space just ripping through Slaughterhouse must have been horrifying to watch. How long did it take Space to beat Slaughterhouse?
No more than a week. Less than a week, probably. It was crazy. That's what I mean by he was progressing so quickly, you know. It was hard for me just to see such a dominant player, like, because at that time I was really trying to work on my skill as well, so during that time it was just...
As we know, Space would then eventually go on to verify Slaughterhouse 5 days before Trick was able to verify Firework, stealing away a year of hard work and determination. It was supposed to be Trick with Firework, but at the top sat Space with Slaughterhouse. Knowing what we do now, we of course know that Trick actually succeeded with his dream. He was the verifier of the top 1 demon, it's just neither him or anyone else knew it. It's almost like Space was holding the entire demon list hostage. If you didn't know, the way they rank levels is based on the opinions of the people that have actually beaten them. And since Space was such a prevalent and good player, he had a lot of control over where levels would be placed. Sadly, to the detriment of a lot of other top players.
When he confessed that he hacked, it brought new context to like so much stuff. Like at the time when he beat Hard Machine, which is a level that I verified, he said it was only about Zodiac difficulty. But the other people who had beaten it eventually said that it should be harder than Tartarus, and they still do say that to this day.
Varium is an incredible player that started playing this game in 2014. This means he's been going at this now for almost 9 years, and ever since he started playing, he always had one dream.
I just want to see myself at the top. I just want to see myself with the achievement of having beaten the hardest thing that anyone has done in the game.
Back in 2021, he got really close to doing this. He was the verifier of a level called Hard Machine. He went through an incredible journey and spent over 40,000 attempts to finally verify it. And once he did, it was all about waiting for other top players to beat it and then asking them how hard they thought the level was, including Space.
Back then, they said, well, maybe it isn't actually that hard because, you know, Space beat it so quick that maybe he's right and maybe it's just my personal experience that made it so hard and it's not actually that hard inherently.
In typical Space fashion, it only took him 7,000 attempts to actually beat Heart Machine. His opinion, number 5. Varian thinks that Space's opinion of the level massively influenced the opinions of other top players at the time.
And Space's influence just sort of robbed me of my dream. As soon as I realized that, well, for the next few days, I just couldn't stop thinking about how I was right there and I could have had it, but then Space sort of took that away from me, and now I have to go through the biggest difficulty jump that this game has ever seen.
Today, we basically know that if it wasn't for Space and his superior skill, Heart Machine probably would have placed around number 1, meaning Varian would have achieved his dream of beating the current hardest level. He's still trying to this day, by the way, so if there's anyone out there that's looking for a top 1 verifier, there's a free agent right there that you could pick up, but make sure to tell him I said hi.
I respected this man so much, and I liked this guy. He was such a chill guy, and now I have to, like, you know, deal with him being a cheater.
Out of all of the players that were robbed of achievements by Space, Doggy's story especially stood out to me. As I mentioned earlier, with Space being exposed as a cheater, it meant that the first victor of Slaughterhouse was actually the first ever player to beat it legit. In this case, it was Doggy. For 1.5 years, neither the community or Doggy had any idea that he actually was the one to officially dethrone Tartarus from its number 1 spot. The exposure that should have been a reward for all of his hard work for taking the first step past Tartarus is basically something that he will never get back.
Honestly, since he went so long without even, like, saying anything, I don't even think he felt bad, bro. He was just, like, desensitized to it. I honestly don't think there would be a time where it would come out unless it was like years later after his time in this community.
But that's not everything. Something that I basically brushed over in this video is Acheron. Acheron is the current hardest level on the Demon List, a level that far surpasses any other. The player who verified that level was Zoink, another complete anomaly in the community. And the first victor was Space, who basically stole that title away from Doggy as well.
I feel like the first emotion before being disappointed was kind of a positive emotion, because I was like, I was the first victor of Acheron, and all that effort didn't go to, you know, waste. But in the end, I was kind of disappointed in this man.
Space's actions are a deep cut into the competitive integrity of the game. It's not only some of the biggest achievements in the past years that were stolen, but also the trust us normal casual players have in top players. With Space coming out as a cheater, we don't know who to trust anymore, especially when current top players like Zoink share a very similar origin story with Space, coming out of nowhere and all of a sudden just demolishing the entire Demon List. Do you think there are more top players right now, like let's say in the top 20, that are cheating right now?
Alright, so Zoink better be cheating or else nothing makes sense. So I'm gonna say Zoink is cheating, because how? Like, this guy makes no sense. And he's also Space 2.0, like he's a Space clone. He might be a Space alt, so like I would not be surprised, to be honest. This guy's way too good. And if he's not hacking, I don't even know how that's possible. So Zoink, good job if you're not hacking. There's some people that have beaten Slaughterhouse that just have these weird ass names, like YOLO Mode Boom. I want to call it YOLO Mode Boom. You did not beat Slaughterhouse in my opinion. Alright, that's all.
It was important to me to end this segment on a bit of a lighter note. Doggy and all of the other players took this entire thing incredibly well, and they have nothing but the uppermost respect from me. I will leave this segment with a recording of the 2022 Best Player Awards, just to show you why I really wanted to include Doggy. You might be wondering, where is Space in all of this now? How did he treat the situation, and what does this mean for him going into the future? He uploaded a tweet longer on the 26th of April. This was only a day after his initial exposal. The tweet longer is basically him explaining how this entire thing started and why he kept going with it. In the tweet longer, he explains that the catalyst for all of this was his completion of the Golden. The one claim to fame he had at the start of all of this was that Golden was his 5th ever demon. Apparently, he accidentally had the no-clip cheat turned on during that attempt and only realized 20 minutes after that his completion was illegitimate, which makes sense since he literally beat it on the first attempt of that session, where it would be harder to notice that you accidentally have no clip turned on. He then decided to submit the record anyway on the basis of, meh, if I get caught I will just quit the game, which, okay, what kind of mentality is that? To his surprise, the record was accepted, and that is what made him realize he could get away with way more. He claims that after the Golden, he beat the level Kinos legit, but in his completion, OBS had a bug that froze his screen so it wasn't recorded. So he decided to download Cbot and just click over a macro for the Kinos completion we all knew until now. Once again, it was accepted, showing him he could get away with way more, and from that point on, he just let loose and cheated everything. In the tweet longer, he also apologizes to other players and says he wants to make up for it by paying back the money that he made for his YouTube videos. This means Trick, Sonic, Doggy, Jeller, Crisis, and Skizzle should receive the ad revenue money Space made from stealing their first Victor titles. Honestly, respect for trying to pay the money back. It shows to me that he at least to some extent realizes the damage that he's caused over the years. I can only confirm that so far, Trick has been the only person that has received money from Space. So it seems like he's going through with what he said. However, even if he pays the money back, I don't think that makes up for what he did.
I don't know if I would like accept that money from him, but I was like, at least he's trying to do something.
What really sticks out to me in this entire situation is how reluctant Space was to tell the truth throughout all of this. It took multiple stages of exposals for him to admit what we think is the entire truth right now. I don't think he would have ever come out with this unless he was caught. And even at that point, he still tried to damage control. He still tried to play it off. With the first click delay exposal, he tried getting away with saying everything after him completing the entire main list was cheated, because he apparently had gotten bored of the game at that point. Upon being questioned why he didn't just cheat the verification of a new top 1 level above Acheron, he said he didn't want to do it to a verification. Even at that point, he was still lying straight into the face of his close friends, reassuring them that it doesn't go that deep and everything else is still legit. When evidence came out to disprove even that, he finally dropped the ball and said everything was cheated and deleted his YouTube channel. Space has since then created a new YouTube channel where he streamed himself attempting to beat the Golden legit this time, as a sort of way to add closure to his entire situation. And the craziest thing is, on the 5th of May, he actually did it.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Looking at all of these comments, I get a really uneasy feeling. Almost like people forgave Space a bit too quickly maybe. Maybe I just have trust issues, but I cannot turn around and just forgive someone knowing how long this guy went and how many achievements he's stolen just for his personal gain. And even now, I still have reason to not believe him and what he said in his tweet longer, because look at this. This is the in-game leaderboard of the level Cataclysm. Look who we have here at rank 120. And just under Space, we have a player called Nuggles, who thankfully uploaded their Cataclysm completion to YouTube so we can date it. Thanks, Nuggles. This means Space beat Cataclysm roughly around June 2020, which would predate his Golden completion. This means that the Golden wasn't even his 5th ever demon. The one claim to fame that Space used to get notoriety is now shrouded in doubt for me, just because of this. Even in 2023, he still claimed to have never beaten Cataclysm, dropping it after getting 77% apparently. But here we have the in-game leaderboard clearly disproving just that. Unless he also used no-clip cheats for Cataclysm and just never recorded or tried to pass it off as legit, which would open an entire new bag of worms that I don't feel like going anywhere near. I just have a gut feeling that he still hasn't told the entire truth. I personally don't believe him when he says he accidentally no-clipped the golden, and I also don't believe that he got a frozen OBS bug on his Keynote completion. Let me show you the main reason why I just cannot believe this guy, right next to comments that I found on YouTube or Twitter. Remember when I said earlier that the best way to lie is to tell the truth? Here's what I meant by that. This guy literally said he was cheating over the years, and we all wrote it off as his funny, sarcastic way of making fun of people trying to claim that he's not legit. And there's so many of them. Like, what? Do you think he deserves a second chance?
Oh no, absolutely not, no. When people cheat like this, especially this much, like hiding it for 3 years, just no.
In GD, if you are caught as a hacker, that is like your legacy. Like Andromeda confessed to hacking and rebeat everything legitimately. People still view him as a hacker.
I don't think that he should be engaging with the community now, but I'd like to see him make some sort of return maybe a few years from now, and sort of how Cyclic did when he hacked Sonic Wave.
Yeah, no, he just really needs actual consequences to learn from this, I think. That's the best thing we can do for him. As friends.
It's something I'll have to think about
Yeah.
over the course of a long time, see how things pan out, I think.
Is there any chance for redemption for him?
In my eyes, not at all. If I'm honest, I don't think I would have any respect for him as a player, even if he was legit. I don't see any chance of him ever coming back to the community, and I honestly think it's disrespectful of him to even try to make any sort of comeback right now.
Okay.
If his closest friends don't show him what lying really does, and we just were too lenient about it, then this might happen again with him in the future with some other thing,
No. I don't think there is. But if he tried, just kept beating levels and stuff, there would be a side of the community that would forgive him, because that's what always happens.
I mean, just personally, friend to friend, I think I'll forgive him. But yeah, I also think I've just developed a little bit of Stockholm syndrome towards him, honestly.
Okay, but you guys are not hanging out in VCs anymore, right?
Not really, no.
Do you miss doing that?
I do. I really do.
Crisis seems like a really great friend to have. Listen, I care about this game. Geometry Dash and its players have done so much for me over the years, from helping me find my passion to create, to linking me up with so many people that I can now call my closest friends. I wanted to take this moment and snapshot it in time. This way future generations of players have an accurate account of all the context and emotions involved. It is important now to not lose trust in top players. Instead, we should go support the ones that you truly think deserve it. From the players mentioned in this video to other insane anomalies like Vision, who just the other day beat the level Silent Clubstep in over 800,000 attempts. With the new update releasing in October, I'm predicting that this game and all its players have a very healthy future ahead. So let's make sure that we keep shooting for those stars, keep pushing the limits and explore new boundaries. We let nobody tell us that we shouldn't care about a $4 mobile game, because it is the best $4 mobile game out there. What are you doing? Wait, what is that? No, stop!
What's up, guys, girls, and pieces of college-ruled notebook paper? So, we all love the demon list, I'm sure, but some of the levels on it just have such confusing and forgettable names. So, in an attempt to fix that, today I'll be bringing in my mom to rename every demon in the top 50. So, let's get into it. Alright, so Mom, today what I'm gonna have you do, at least the top 50, if it goes by quickly, we'll do the top 100.
Top 50, top 100 what?
Hardest levels in the game, basically.
There's not that many.
There's a lot. Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you them, and I want you to guess what they're named. I'm going to show you 2 examples. So here's an example of one, right?
It says Bloodbath.
Yeah, so this level's called Bloodbath. You know, it's red, you know? It's blood, you know?
Oh, gotcha.
It's all red,
Okay.
so that's for...
Yeah.
So
where's the bath part?
Well, I mean, bloodbath, I mean, it can also just mean, like, you know, a lot of blood, you
Oh,
know?
okay. So they're taking, like, a horror theme.
Yeah.
Alright.
I'm gonna pull up the first one. Okay, you can go ahead and open. Okay. So this is the hardest level in the game. What do you think it's called? Well, you know, pretty difficult.
I mean, it doesn't look that difficult. You go up, you go down. I would say maybe something like, I don't know, because it kind of it seems schizophrenic.
You gotta hurry up, because I gotta pause this before you.
So
before
schizophrenic.
That's it.
Schizophrenia.
You're going with schizophrenia. That's the #1 demon.
That's the #1 demon.
All right, let's see if you were right.
I don't know what that is. What's an Acheron?
Acheron.
Acheron.
I don't know, honestly. I don't know why it's named that.
Maybe that is the German word for schizophrenia.
Maybe. You know.
I hope some of these make some sense.
Okay, go. This is the second hardest level in the game. And you gotta guess.
Ooh.
I'd say guess before like 85% because there is an end screen in this level. Firefall?
Yeah, I like that.
That's what you're going with?
Yeah, that's what I'm going with.
All right.
Ooh, that looks great.
This is what the level is called.
Avernus?
It's called Avernus.
Avernus. Sort of sounds like a furnace. So I guess I guess that's what they were going for.
You know, I hadn't thought about that, but
furnace.
That very well could be the mnemonic device they were going for.
I feel like Firefall is better.
All right, you can look.
Ooh, that's bright.
Yeah, you're gonna have
bright
to guess.
And sunny.
You're gonna have to guess kind of quickly because they're gonna pause the game a lot coming up.
I feel like this would be like Sunny Confusion.
Sunny Confusion. Okay.
Sunny Confusion. Well, it was really bright and sunny. Now it's kind of.
You want to revise your answer?
No. I like the yellow. I think they should have stuck with the yellow best.
So the level's called Silent Club Step.
That's a terrible name. That's a terrible name. What the hell is it? What is a club step?
Club Step is actually one of the official levels.
Yeah, I've seen that name, but what is a club step?
It's the name of the level. I don't know. It's the name of the level and it's the name of the song. I don't know.
That's not a real thing.
Go ahead.
Who's he?
He's the guy who verified the level.
Oh, so he's the one bouncing around.
He's the one playing the level. Yes.
Totally keeps disappearing. Ooh, that's fast.
It is fast.
Ooh, what's that?
That's the ship game.
Oh, there was a total. There was Satan.
Hell is a very common theme with hard levels.
Yeah, it is. Okay, hoverboard hell.
Slaughterhouse.
It's not terrible. I mean, I don't see anything really getting slaughtered, but I think it's kind of cool.
Your icon when you die, I don't know.
Well,
man.
Does he die in this?
Well, he's probably died thousands of times while trying to beat it.
But this is the one.
This is the video where he actually made it. Yes,
okay.
correct.
So I don't get to see the slaughtering. Okay.
This one should look different.
Purple.
Not red.
Blue. Purple skyscraper.
Purple skyscraper.
I don't even like that name. Purple rainfall.
Kukey.
I definitely think that means purple rainfall.
Maybe.
100%. I have actually seen that symbol before spelling out purple rainfall.
Well, then, you know, maybe you got one right.
Ooh. That's pretty. Oh, and it's nice and it's mom speed too. It's nice and slow and perfect speed for me.
There is a lot of red.
Ooh, good luck. And he's a nice kid too. Nice. Ooh, that was like a face that came in. Perfectron. There you go.
Perfectron.
Yeah, there you go.
Abyss of Darkness.
Ooh. Okay, I like that name though. I think the name is good.
So I'm getting the vibe that this is your favorite level so far.
So far, I really like that one. Yeah, that was a good one. Ready? Let's see. I'm gonna say it's going gangsta.
Going gangster? Okay. Sakupin circles.
What the heck is a Sakupin? That's a made-up word.
It might be, but it has to do
I
with
think
the name
it should
of the
be
song.
backwards, like Napuka's circle.
Okay, you can go ahead and look.
Oh lord, these are those crazy fast levels.
So the pretty different color theme so far. It's gray.
Yeah, splotches of color, but I like all the diamond things. So I'm gonna say maybe it's like Diamond Dungeon.
Diamond Dungeon.
Yeah, I like that.
Firework.
That doesn't look anything like fireworks. That one would go better with like the last one. Don't get wet. Where are you gonna get wet from? It's a video game.
That's a
There's
good
no
question.
water. There's no
I don't know
water.
what they meant.
There's no water. Kiwi Nightmare.
Kiwi Nightmare. What provoked that? Where
Because
do you-
there was some like really funky like green bits in the beginning, and then there's like little splotches of green here and there, and this looks like a nightmare.
Minus dry. Yeah, I don't.
Well, that kind of goes with that weird "don't get wet" part.
Yeah, I don't.
You are dry. We are wet. Like,
Yeah, I don't really get it.
I feel like they gave up.
Yeah, me too.
They did
I
a
can
great
agree
job
with
on building the level, and then they just threw stuff in there for no reason.
Go ahead.
Ooh.
So this is what's called a memory level, where the gameplay is basically invisible. You can't really see what you're doing. You have to basically memorize the entire level to, like, you don't know which of these to hit.
Let's go with like Mensa, music, memory.
Mensa, music, memory.
Yeah.
Limbo.
Oh, that's Limbo?
Yeah.
Oh, I've heard you guys talk about that all the time.
Because like one of these keys will glow, and you have to follow it while also doing this part. At the end, you have to pick which one it is.
And so many people have done that.
Uh-huh.
Nobody's done that without cheating. There's no way.
This many people have.
I'd like to see them do that
1,
in
2,
person.
3, 4, so, I mean, it's gotta be like 15, 20 people probably.
Yeah, no. I'd
Okay.
like to see them
I'm
do it
glad
in
that
person.
you just have decided no. I'm glad. All right, go ahead.
Oh, this is pretty. Mother's Day. Just like something for Mother's Day.
Mother's Day. Okay.
That's super cool. It looks like a little cotton candy. I don't understand. Like, how is that even close to Poo Cube? Like,
I think it's meant to be like poo cubed with a cubed symbol on the end.
but I don't understand where they got poo from, because none of that is brown. I still think it should be Mother's Day. It's very pretty.
We're back to the hell theme.
Oh, he got eaten by something. Not gonna make it.
Not gonna make it.
No, spelled Naggona. Not gonna make it. It's cubed.
Cubed. Yeah. Okay. Let's see if that's right. Arcturus.
I don't know what Arcturus means.
I don't know either, but I feel like at this point you're a veteran of level names that make no sense. So
I feel like it's missing like a letter in
cubed.
front. Yeah, a cubed would be great. A squared. Zephyrion.
Okay.
Zephyrion. Yeah.
The hallucination.
Hey, that's actually not a bad name for that, because I feel like I was hallucinating a little bit. It's like, he should have called it like Bad Trip, because that's like a acid, you know.
All right, go ahead.
Ooh, what's the stuff in the back?
I don't know. It's like art of a.
Oh, I think that's like
an
a
electron
no,
or something. Oh, well,
hey,
there's
those
the
are
answer.
like the.
Well, there's the answer.
Oh, I wouldn't have known that.
I didn't know that.
No, because when it came up, I was gonna say like tornado spinner, because that was
I'll
like
use
those
that.
fidget spinners that you had.
I'll
But
use
that looks
that.
like a tornado. Like, look at all the crap that happens when the thing.
Yeah, tornado spinner. I'll use that. But
I would never have known that was
Edge
the
of
name.
Destiny.
I thought he was just putting like, you know, subliminal messages like the other guy, like don't get wet. Flight of the Bumblebee.
Where do you get?
I mean, he's just coasting along. He's just flying.
Flight of the Bumblebee. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, I don't see Oblivion whatsoever on that one. Oh, I hate when it does that. Like my least favorite like thing in this game. I don't know what this was. Like it looks like there's a bunch of letters.
Yeah, but
throughout,
none of these are the level. It's the people who made the parts.
Oh,
it's
so
the names of
sticking
the
their
people.
names in
Yeah,
there? That's funny. So, yeah, let's do like subliminal speedrun.
Subliminal speedrun.
Yeah.
Hard machine.
Well,
it's hard.
I guess it's hard. Interesting. Good job, guys. Dark Avenger.
It is pretty dark. Okay, let's see.
It is. Okay. They just didn't name it at all.
I think they named it. They named it unknown.
Why? Yeah, they named it unknown because they didn't have anything. I don't blame them. It gets tough to try to come up with something to combat things like Poo Cubed, but I mean, like.
I'm glad that you dislike that level name as much as I do. I hate that level name so. It's such a stupid level name.
So much happening. Okay, I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna call it Mountainous Mayhem. Caution, mayhem, mountainous mayhem.
It's funny you mentioned that because this level's name appears at the ending.
Yeah.
Didn't realize that it appears in the middle too.
That's funny. See, now the difference was you didn't mention it this time, and I didn't pick up on anything different. So, let's see, kaleidoscope. That's what I couldn't think of before. Kaleidoscope Karma.
Kaleidoscope Karma.
Yeah.
Sonic Wave Infinity.
Okay, I can kind of get behind Sonic Wave. I'm not sure if Infinity works because this isn't like gonna go on forever.
I mean, it's a longer version.
Yeah, but it doesn't go on forever. Ooh, a lot of circles. Hoop de doo. There we go. Are we up for the next one?
No, do you want to see what it's called?
Oh yeah, that's right. See, like, I don't know if that really makes sense. But Tartarus, I feel like it's kind of a word.
It's like it is a word. I don't remember. It's like I feel like it has something to do with like
Tartarus?
mythology or something.
Yeah,
like
and I love mythology.
I think it has something to do with like Greek mythology or something.
I feel like Tartarus
that.
is a person. It's the infernal regions of
Yeah.
ancient Greek mythology. Okay. I don't know. I feel like it's a little too bright and happy in the beginning to be Tartarus. But, I mean, I'm always good for anything that's Greek mythologically named. Dingleitis.
What the heck?
I don't know, I'm making up a word.
Dingleitis?
Yeah. Okay, that sounds French.
Terrific.
Better be French for Dingleitis.
You know, it just might be. New color scheme, yellow and green.
Yeah, but why is... Blinded Lights.
Blinded Lights?
Yeah.
Okay. The Golden.
That's not even a whole sentence or a whole word or anything. Like, the golden what?
The Golden.
The golden flight.
The Golden.
The golden cruise ship thing.
The Golden. Alright, we're gonna move on.
Okay, I'm a little afraid because this is kind of like Poo Cubed, but
No, it isn't. Poo
like
Cubed
color-wise, geared up.
Geared up.
Yeah, I like all the gears.
Alright, let me skip to the ending here.
Walter White, that's kind of silly. Like, I didn't see a meth lab in there.
Yeah, no, but it's called Walter White. Cool looking, pretty cool looking.
It's kind of cool. Looking like it looks like a dungeon again. I don't know. I'd say graffiti tag.
Graffiti tag.
Yeah.
Sinister Silence.
They weren't quiet though, so they talked through the whole thing.
Here's the level.
This one should have been kiwi. It is very green. Luck of the Irish.
Luck of the Irish.
Yeah.
Verdant landscape.
Okay, I can deal. I like that.
It's green. It's a landscape.
It's Verde, isn't it?
Green,
I don't know, but Verde does. They got the sort of
close enough.
ish.
So the drop is coming up. Here's the drop of the level.
Okay. I don't know what that means.
It means the song gets more intense.
Circus Virtuoso.
Circus Virtuoso.
Yeah.
Zodiac.
Oh. I would like that more if I could tell that there was like 12 of them in there. 12 different things. Yeah, I like Zodiac as a word, but I would love to see like the Zodiac somehow represented. That'd be cool.
Okay. So
this is like lightning or something. I see a bunch of lightning.
Okay.
So let's say like, ooh, and like water. That looks like water. I like this level. Meteor strike or something like maybe something like that.
Aerial gleam.
Ooh, well, I like aerial. I'm not sure gleam does it justice.
I really think it would be funny if you do manage to just like by some luck of the draw happen to actually guess one of them.
Not gonna happen because none of these make sense in most cases.
Next level, ignore him in the bottom.
He looks like a nice kid. I don't want to like ignore him. Galaxy, no, Gear Galaxy.
Gear Galaxy.
Yeah.
Kinos.
Okay.
I knew this was gonna be another one. I knew this was gonna be another one that you're like.
What that means?
You don't like Kinos?
No. How come when I was making a level, I didn't see half of this stuff?
Well, the stuff was there, but
there's like flowers in there.
There's a lot of stuff in this level. So you probably got like 45 seconds to think of something because
I saw love. Short. I'm gonna call it Valentine.
Valentine.
Yeah, because it's like those candy hearts where they got little conversations.
All right. Shuketsu.
I think you're pronouncing it wrong.
Okay, how am I pronouncing it?
Shuketsu.
Okay, well, for all I know, I could be pronouncing it wrong because I don't know how to pronounce half of the levels.
I still think that should be Valentine because it's got all the conversation words in there. Like, what do you put words in if you don't want us to read them?
Got a lot more green here as well.
Yeah, you do. I like the word reborn, but I don't see anything being reborn. So let's say mental breakdown.
Mental breakdown.
Yeah.
You're close. Curies.
That's not close at all. Oculus orbitus.
Oculus orbitus. Okay.
I'm getting into the Greek theme now.
Yeah. Take your best guess. I don't even know how you pronounce that.
Obviously, this is Aspera from the Latin word for doesn't make any sense.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead. Next.
Very flashy level.
Wow.
Very flashy level.
Very flashy level.
What you thinking?
Jabberwocky. There is nothing neutral about that.
Yeah? You don't think so?
Nope.
All right.
Moving
on. That's all you gotta say.
That's it. Ooh.
I feel like this is one you can at least probably get close to.
That looks like Hades. Yeah, let's call it Hades.
Critical heat.
Okay, I don't mind heat, but I feel like critical is not very descriptive.
Look at how critical this is. That looks like critical heat right there.
Now, let's call this Icarus.
Icarus.
Yeah.
Promethean.
I'm getting closer.
You're getting closer.
Promethean is definitely a root word of like Prometheus.
Okay. This one's pretty different from most of them, I feel.
Oh, what the heck? Force field.
Force field?
Yeah.
That's what you're going with?
I guess so, because he got stuck.
Thinking space.
Okay.
Not your cup of tea? Not what you would have picked?
I don't know.
You would have picked force field?
Like, thinking space? Like, it sounds like it's supposed to be inside his head. So, this one should be Icarus. Oh. Looks like he's flying to the sun.
You have any other ideas?
I'm gonna say, like, Portal.
Portal?
Yeah. I was damn close. That doesn't look like anything either.
Portal is...
Koyo.
I think it's Koeo.
Koyo. Oh, he's like jumping. I like that little guy. Who's he?
Well, that's one of the game modes. He doesn't have anything to do with the level, though.
Oh.
He's been in many of the levels so far.
I know. I'm just saying I didn't get to be that when I was playing.
Well, because you didn't play for long enough.
Oh.
It's in the later levels.
I didn't know that. Rogue Racer.
Rogue Racer.
Yeah. Looks like it could be.
Lotus flower.
I didn't even see a lotus in there.
I feel like you should know by now that doesn't mean anything.
But I
though.
don't understand why they're naming it things that you don't have in there.
So not too terrible so far.
Imminent rage.
Imminent rage. Super hate me world.
I don't know what to think about that one. It's a run-on sentence for one. Two, it makes kind of no sense because super hate me world. Like, but why hate? Why must we hate?
Because all of these
Come on,
extreme
brother.
demons, they default to this red hell theme, and it has to do with blood and hatred. It's kind of overdone.
I
but
think
that's
Eminent
okay.
Rage would be a little better.
Okay, I know. You've thought that about most of your levels, so about most of these names so far.
I know. This game is so terrible for my eyes. I swear. This game explains why you got glasses so soon in life. Wrath.
Wrath. Okay. I mean, it's not like a red dark level, so
No,
I mean,
but the
I
whole
didn't think you
level
would.
looks angry. Like it
Okay.
has like a real like nasty looking theme to.
Fragile.
Really, it looked really hard. It didn't look like
it's a
fragile. at all.
fragile level.
I didn't see anything soft in there. I didn't see anything breakable in there. So yeah, my name Jeff. Like I don't understand what. There's heart bubbles. Sort of disappeared.
Yeah,
I'd say love lost. 'Cause
Love
it went
lost.
from love to ugh in the middle.
Sari never clear. I don't either.
Sari never clear. Never clear Sari. That doesn't make any sense. What's a Sari?
I think it's a player, but I don't. It's like an old creator and player from a
And
long time
never
ago.
clear, like
but
the
I
saying,
don't know
you'll
what he has
never
to do with this
clear,
level
like-
though. It's very red again. It's another red one.
Yeah, but that
What
probably
does red
means
make
that,
you think of?
Evil Reaper.
Crimson Planet.
I totally thought I was gonna see some like random like Goa or something.
Goa.
Crimson Planet. Okay, I can get behind Crimson Planet.
All right, go ahead.
Oh, confetti. Hypochondriac.
Confetti hypochondriac. What does hypochondriac mean?
It's like a person that like always thinks that they're sick or every
Okay.
they're always like ill. Like
So this level
something
makes you
like
think of sickness and illness.
Yeah.
Renavent.
Okay, that I need to know if that's even like a real word. All right. Oh, it's really quiet.
Yeah, because it's building up.
Oh.
To another drop, as GD players would say.
Okay. Oh, that's cool. Skyline.
Skyline.
Yeah.
Calculator core.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Is there a calculator in here or something?
Well, it's technology, so calculator.
Where did you see technology?
Well, it's like, you know, the like futuristic city thing that you were like, ooh, why did you say skyline? I thought
Because it was a city.
a futuristic looking city.
It didn't look futuristic. It just looked like a city.
It's blue and
In
white.
the
Those are the peak
skyline.
colors of technology.
Oh. Pretty colors. I like the people that choose color. I mean, I like the grayscale stuff too, but like the color's nice.
Yeah.
This is Zenith.
Zenith. Cold sweat.
Oh, jeez.
Your face.
I mean,
There's been a lot of disappointment out of you today, I feel.
Okay.
Cold sweat.
I don't get it. But
All right, go ahead.
let's call it like escape room or something.
Escape
Panic room. There you go.
Panic room. Okay. Cognition.
Okay. I mean, I like the word.
I feel like that's the saving grace for most of these levels for you is like the oh, the
I
name
like
the name makes no sense, but I mean that's a cool word. So
I definitely am a lover of words, so.
all right, go ahead. I'll tell you-
Ringu.
I'll tell Ringu.
Yeah, like the ring. That's what it reminds me.
Cosmic Cyclone.
Okay, that one actually makes sense.
Yeah?
Makes total sense.
Really?
I think it looks exactly like that.
You're fine with
Very
this one.
good.
You're happy
Yes,
with this one?
Brava. Bravo.
Is this the best? Is this the best fitting one so far?
So far, it's the best fitting name for all of them. Yeah, it's missing cubed, but
You're right. It does. It's not. You know,
Cosmic Cyclone
Cube. That would have made it a lot better. I feel.
Or squared.
Or squared, of course.
This looks like doppelganger.
So you're changing your thing for
no, it's still doppelganger because he keeps splitting up a lot.
Well, that's just a game mechanic.
I
Like
know,
you can,
but
like anyone can put that in their level.
I don't care.
Okay. Lucid Nightmares.
Okay, I think it is okay. It looks like a good name.
Yeah.
I like both words.
So these are getting better.
Yeah, so far.
A lot of flowiness, a lot of some particles around.
It looks pretty standard, but ooh, a third eye. It doesn't look like you can get killed by a lot of things.
Well,
I'm sure you can.
Pretty much everything on here can kill you.
Oh, look how happy he looks. Smokehouse.
Rust.
You know what? I was totally thinking there was like a metallic component, and maybe that's what all that dusty looking stuff was. But I'm not 100% sold on it. I feel like maybe something in the metal family would have been better. Like, you know.
Rust is on metal.
I know, but like everything in it had like a little bit of a sheen, but in a muted way. So probably could have chosen a different word.
Cosmic Cyclone still ahead?
Cosmic Cyclone still is the one that makes the most sense out of all of them for the level it created. I feel like it's got to have the word dream in it.
Okay.
Staccato dream. There we go.
Staccato dream. Silent Club.
Nothing silent here. I don't understand what silent has to do with any of this at all.
So it's kind of, but silent is a term in the GD community that means like impossible almost.
Don't get it. Nope.
All right, this next one is the last one. So let's see what you think of it. Let's see if we can end on a high note. Yeah.
If it has club in it,
it's not.
It's not gonna have a high note.
It doesn't have club in it. Don't you worry. So this is the 50th hardest level in the game.
Snowblind.
Snowblind?
Yeah, or maybe Whiteout.
Whiteout.
That's a good one too. Yeah, let's do Whiteout.
Whiteout. Final answer.
Yeah, final answer.
Shardscapes.
Okay, I think that one makes some sense, so that's okay. I think he could have done a little bit better, but I get it, because it does look like shards of something, but it looks more like snow with all the little mountains and stuff. Looks like.
Yeah.
But
that is the top 50 hardest demons.
I can't even get over this one. Still just don't understand the whole poo cube thing. I mean, I think it's cool that some of the people like definitely try to like incorporate Greek mythology or like characters or whatever, but like there's a lot of weird names for things.
You want to try one of these?
Sure.
Okay, sure. Whatever you say. So yeah, so today I think we've learned that the top 50 have very fitting names.
Maybe.
Is there anything you'd like to close with?
Nope. Thank you very much. I will happily no longer name any other games.
You wanna do the closer?
And special thank you to all the members for watching, especially the Carl.
Yes.
A special thanks to you. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in a future video.
Woo! In this video, I've gathered 4 GD YouTubers and put them to test on what is widely considered to be the most important skill a Geometry Dash player can have: coin placement. I'm going to be sending them all a small layout and challenging them to place as many coins as they want in it in 15 minutes before I have the kingpin of coins, the captain of collectibles, judge them. But before we get into that, first I have to build the level that they'll be using. Alright, what's up guys, girls, and wheels of cheese? So as you heard in the intro, today we're going to be building a level that a lot of people are going to be having to modify. So basically what I want to do is I want to make a level that is very open. I want to make a level that has a lot of possibilities. So we've got this, we got a good start right here. We're going to be also decorating this like a 1.0 level, I feel the need to mention, because it's just the easiest thing, really. Also, I feel the need to mention this because every single time I make a 1.0 style level, I get comments like this. Green orbs aren't in 1.0. It's 1.0 styled! It looks like a 1.0 level. It doesn't only use 1.0 things. Okay, thank you. So we got 24 seconds to build. This shouldn't be too bad. So I'm not building this level with coins in mind at all. Okay, so we got our first cube section done. Okay, when I said that I'm not designing the level with coins in mind, that's kind of a lie, but kind of true. I'm not designing them with specific coins in mind, but I'm trying to make the gameplay as open as possible to give as many coin possibilities as I can. That's what I mean, basically. Okay, I think we're done with our ball part now. I'm really just roughly buffing out the gameplay because after this, after I'm done actually making the gameplay, I'm going to go through and actually make it look like a 1.0 level. And then once it's completely done and it looks like a 1.0 level and all that stuff, that's when I'm going to be giving it to other people. So I don't really have a whole lot to say right now because I'm really just getting the rough gameplay out. But I think we're done with the ball part. I intentionally made this part really open because I think that people they could probably do some stuff here. Maybe it's their call, really. I'm gonna outline the very rough pathway that I want you to take. But again, when I actually make the level, I'm gonna do a bit better than this. Right, like this is the very, very rough outline of the path that I want the player to take here. And then they'll fly into the portal here, and we got a final cube. Okay, I think we are done with our level. I'm not gonna bother doing a showcase of it right now because it's really boring and bland. I'm gonna go quote-unquote decorate it really quick, and when I come back, then I'll do a showcase of it. So I'll be back in a minute for you guys. So yeah, that's the level. So my plan now is to just give it out to a couple people and see what coins they place in it. And then we'll have call and judgment at the end. So I think it's time to make some calls. Vortrox, Tried, Moldy, Woolsey. So what we're gonna do, I made like a 20-second layout. I'm gonna give you like 15 minutes to place coins in it. I intentionally made it a pretty open layout. You could put down like 1, 2, or 3. You don't have to put down all 3.
The second I open the level, the timer starts and I have 15 minutes to do 3 coins.
15 minutes, yep, 15 minutes.
3, 2, 1.
All right.
So dramatic. My editor opened. Can the coins be like? Do they have to be like you know, like a regular difficulty, or can I make them like really hard?
You can make them hard. As long as the regular route stays the same difficulty or easier, you can do whatever you want with the coin. If you want to do like a totally alternate path with the coin, you're more than welcome to make that harder.
So this green orb, I'm just gonna copy paste it. So now it's a double click. Can I use any groups?
Yeah, no, yeah, you're more than welcome to use groups or moving objects or whatever.
I gotta make sure. Wait, do I have to verify it when I'm done?
No, I mean, as long as I know they're possible, you can verify hack it.
I just did it like this, and I'm pretty sure that's possible. So
yeah, no,
rolling with that.
Yeah.
How much time do I got left?
11 and a half minutes.
Holy crap, it's okay. I need to get this
moving. Yeah, dude, the time goes by real fast when you're doing like anything building related. I was gonna say, but you are still on pace if you want to do all 3, 5 minutes per coin.
Yeah, I got this. I have an idea. Okay.
Okay. He's cooking with
Let me cook.
Oh, you're doing something. You really got the super buffing mindset. This would make like a small child cry. Many.
That's possible?
Oh my god.
Okay, that's actually perfect. I'm gonna try to work with that.
Oh my god.
Oh, that actually works out.
Oh my
All right, we're rolling with that. Spending too much time playtesting. This is how I am when I make real levels too. Do I want to use triggers and make like pick up stuff? I don't know how those work to be honest, so probably not.
Ooh, okay.
Pretty sure you can't do that as the normal one. Yeah, no.
I think that you would have to like use momentum to fall faster.
Yeah, you'd have to dodge that platform.
Yeah.
I want to try something though, because like I want to make use of like the fact that you're upside down going into it, just so like you have to go upside down. Which I mean I don't know, it's kind of cheap.
Hours. So we'll see. We'll see how they. Oh my god, dude. See, I saw that jump when I was building it, but I didn't actually know if that was possible.
I'll do a little key magic. I have time to do a key, I think. Oh yeah, toggle. I know how these work. Yes.
Toggle triggers are goated.
And then I'll just put one of these. I don't really know how these work. And then it just makes it a triple spike, which really isn't that hard. Yes. Boom. Okay.
Huge. Oh.
What? Why did Phobos just start playing?
That's my alarm.
Oh, that's the okay. I mean, I finished the coins. I just didn't verify them.
Yeah, no, you did.
Yeah, I don't think these coins are my best work with the given time allotment.
Hey, no one works well under a time limit, and that's the fun of it.
Exactly.
All right, so thank you for the coins. Like I said, I think yours are definitely going to be some of the hardest, but they're silly, they're interesting. I think that's what it's all about. You know, that's the embodiment of it.
Silly, interesting, and extremely difficult. That's how I roll, baby.
That's the best way. Yeah. Thank you for that. Thank you for agreeing to do this. And yeah, hope
no problem, man. Thanks for having me.
Hope it was a positive experience.
Yeah, for sure.
Before we move on to the next coin placer, I just want to remind you, if you're enjoying so far, to hit that subscribe button, baby, because we are fast approaching 100k, and I think we can approach it even faster! Claim your pre-100k ticket now! Alright, back to coins.
Oh, I love this song. Alright.
There's lots of possibilities, lots of things to work with, you know?
So, right, no limit on difficulty for the coin paths themselves?
Yeah, assuming they're, like, not on the main path.
I'm really tempted to do one that's like top 1 difficulty, but I don't know if I want to do that. Okay, the first one needs to be within the first, like, I feel like before the ship part, there should be a coin, right? Considering the layout's not that long. How do I want to do this? I don't know, actually. I probably should have been thinking about coin placements a lot more while playing it. I was just like, ooh, this is a cool layout. I'm tempted to chuck it down here because I feel like this could be kind of a neat spot. It's like a little bit difficult because I think if you click this green orb too late, you'll like die. So I think, is that even possible at the moment though? I don't know.
Got the fake walls.
I feel like that's not too bad because this is like kind of hard because you got to be early on with it. Got to make it a little bit skill based, and I want you to be able to like see it, right? Didn't you say Colin's gonna be judging these?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna tell him to not be like too critical.
Are we like restricted to 1.0 objects as well? Like, can I just make
no,
a fake one of these blocks?
You can do whatever you want.
Oh, all right, I'm making a fake one of these blocks then. Here we go.
I was gonna say you could use like alpha triggers. You could use move triggers.
Oh god, dude. Oh, that almost works. Maybe I can like remove 2 spikes up here and then make it so you go all the way up there and then click, because if you go down here you can't survive, right? So it's like extra steps to it, you know.
You are at 10 minutes left now, by the way.
That took 5. Okay, well, you know what, I'm on pace. I feel like I could do something really goofy silly in this ship part, and then the last coin is just gonna be normal. Oh, do I go like Stereo Madness style with it, where you like go to a, because I wanted to do that with this part, but it didn't really work up here. Hear me out, right? You go up to this portal, it shifts the lines up, and then you go up through a hole in the roof up here. This portal's really out of place, but like,
all right, it's a two-parter. I see.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, especially when you're trying to get 3 coins into a 20-second level. I mean, I think it's fine to have some some sillier coins, you know, some
Yeah,
a little bit. You get a little bit fruitier with it at some points.
Fruitier, exactly. The hitboxes are a bit dumb, but you know, it's fine.
Just flying into the void. I mean, yeah, I mean, it looks pretty convincing.
That's
I'd
like
say.
it's a bloodbath level of ground spike. I don't know, man. So I want you to go up here, and then like it'll, I don't know, just cut off randomly for no reason. I don't know, man. Now, what am I gonna do to make these coins like really hard? Do I just like tartar a straight fly? Do I have to verify these?
No,
Okay.
No, you don't. You don't have to. Okay.
Thank God. That's
Yeah,
all I needed
no,
to hear. Maybe I could do like a slight upwards deal as well.
Silent club step 9%.
Yeah, literally.
Oh, you're at a minute 50.
Oh, I've got plenty of time.
Plenty of time to build a top one inside of what was originally
Exactly.
like a hard 4-star layout.
Yeah. How's your level
See,
gonna get any recognition without any like top 1 bits in it? That's all I'm saying.
You still have to put the coin down.
Oh yeah, true. I forgot about that part.
I don't even think you've actually placed the coin yet.
There we go. Boom. I was just making like a swag rap, bro.
I was gonna say, like, this dude is just out here building like list demon gameplays, like, man, this is great.
Surely
What? Oh, there's the videos about coins. Okay, yeah.
That's right. Oh, I meant to make a coin.
You got 20 seconds.
I got
You
20
22
seconds.
21 seconds specifically.
Surely you can make that jump. You have to be able to make that jump, right? I'm getting rid of that jump all
3,
game.
2, 1.
Alright, hopefully. Phobos timer. Oh, you can absolutely make. Wait, can you get out of that?
You can. You just have to jump off of the
You
edge
can? Okay,
of
okay,
it.
cool.
Yeah.
Can I move the coin?
So, you want to move it over there?
Please.
Sure, man.
Yes. Oh my
I saw
God.
the light turn on in your head.
Yeah.
You're satisfied with your coins?
I really hope that this is possible, but other than that, I think we're good.
Best version, of course.
Yeah. I'm so impatient.
How did you do that?
What?
He's insane with it. You know, moments like this, I gotta commend you. I have to commend you for playing with game sounds on, because this would be driving me insane.
Get what, like choo choo?
Yeah, like I cannot stand the GD sound effects.
That is so possible.
Oh,
that is absolutely possible. I don't want to hear it, bro.
Okay then, I stand corrected. So if you want, you can turn off your screen share so I can get that good old 2 icon view. You know, the two close. Wrong button.
I pressed the wrong button. I was like, oh yeah, of course.
But yeah, thank you for that. Of course, and I guess I'll move on to whoever I edit in next. So I sent the ID.
Okay. I see some good spots. Oh dang, there's a lot of good spots. There's another one here. You can just swoop up. I bet you a lot of people are gonna do these obvious ones. I feel like everyone's done. Or everyone else is gonna do those like exact spots though.
You'd be surprised.
Oh, this one's perfect because it's lowered more than the one over here is. That's a perfect spot. I feel like this is so obvious though.
I did try to make the level very open, so there's like multiple places where you could do this.
Yes. I believe this is what Colin would call a pure coin.
A pure coin, yes.
Pure. This would have to be this part would require unique gameplay, which is where it really gets entertaining.
Yeah, you gotta do something a little bit zestier here.
I wonder if I were to like put something here, right?
You still got 12.5 minutes.
Oh, okay, I'm rushing. I'm so used to rushing at these challenges.
I placed 3 coins in 2.15 seconds.
Exactly. Oh gosh, okay. This is like a hard timing, but I kind of like that. It's possible. It's like extreme.
It's possible, yeah.
Okay. You said I have like 12 minutes left. I've already placed 3. I'm gonna try and
you've got 11.5 minutes left.
Let's see, let's see.
I mean, if you're at a point where you're like just content, I mean, you don't have to use like all of the time. I was gonna say, like, even if you try to improve them and you still end up with like 5 minutes left, I mean, you don't have to like stare at them for 5 minutes.
Yeah. I think my most original one's this one over here. Because, well, I think everyone's gonna put a coin here somewhere. I think my route is probably original. I mean, maybe, I don't know.
But that's also why I thought this would be interesting, because I'm curious to see, like, how many people think of similar ideas. I mean, I definitely think yours feel the most, like, out of all the ones I've seen so far, they definitely feel the most like Robtop would actually place these.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. This one here is smooth. I don't know why I like that one a lot.
I was gonna say you might be able to make it so you can make it like over to the other block, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think I could if I were to do something like this and then plop this one like up here.
Yeah,
because it shouldn't affect the bottom road. I think that first one's better now. It's less pure, but I think like. I think if it wasn't there, it still makes sense. This second coin, it's like so simple and so generic, but I love it, so I'm gonna keep it. It's just like it's one of those pure. It's like the purest a coin can be. It's just I deleted like one chain and that was it.
Sometimes it's the little things that make the biggest difference.
Okay, I'm gonna try and verify this. Let's go! Okay, I did it.
Easy!
How much time is left?
5.5 minutes.
Okay, I think I'm done. I don't need to sit there for the rest of 5 minutes.
Alright, so thank you for the coins. Like I said, I think yours are the most Robtop-like, so but we'll have to see what the big man himself thinks.
King coin, yeah.
Can't wait to hear what he has to say. So yeah, thank you for being on. And
no problem. Subscribe to Moldy.
Of course, yes.
Whoa!
Oh my god, he said the thing.
I said the thing. Coin placing. So I can just edit this how I want.
Essentially. Even though it's like a 1.0 style level, you can use like modern stuff. Like if you want to use like a move trigger or something like that.
Yes.
More than welcome to.
Oh, I'm terrified. Wait, is this how it feels to be in one of my level swap things? Like, oh god. Is this how it feels whenever I ask someone to do something? Oh god. I'm staring at this part. There's gotta be a way.
You got 15 minutes.
Alright, and you get to sit here and make fun of me the whole time?
No. I would never do such a thing. I'm the most supportive.
Sure. I don't think I've ever placed a key. I don't think I've ever done this. With spawn triggering.
I think this is the most involved so far. Like I think this is the most work that has gone into a coin.
Oh, that brick. My bad.
Oh my.
I lost the triggers, by the way. Here we are. Whoops. We're gonna make sure that doesn't happen again.
There's a vision here.
Ah! Does that happen in normal mode? Better not.
Oh my god, bro.
What? Why? Why? Oh, this is torture. Why did I... No! It's gonna use like half my time on this one thing!
I mean...
What? What is this doing?
I mean, like I said, you're more than welcome to focus all your energy into one really good coin.
Okay. Look at that.
Alright.
Look at that. Colon's gonna hate this.
He's gonna love it. Time check, you're at 8:45 right
Oh, wow, I used like most of my time on this. Okay, great. Colon's gonna kill me. Oh no, there's a spike on that one! And then this needs to move down.
Okay, you could always move trigger the spikes away.
I'm using so much time just from slow-mo. Can I scale hack?
Oh yeah, no, yeah. Anything is within this fair game. So the whole thing I've been saying is like, in a way, you're kind of like Robtop in 1.6 when he had to like go back and like place coins and like can't let go.
1.6, yeah.
Yeah, it's like that if Robtop didn't add coins until yesterday.
First coin done. Oh, do I even try and move this pad across? Oh god. Oh, this is gonna take me like a whole minute just for this one pad, and that's just because I'm being very picky. It took me 10 minutes to do this. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Why didn't it appear? Oh, now I have to troubleshoot. Yes!
Oh, it's not even. Wait, is it?
I'm spending too much time testing. I don't have time for this. Oh, wait. I don't care enough. I don't care enough. 3.5 minutes? Okay. So do I just put 2 other coins in so he thinks it's gonna be like terrible?
You're more than welcome to. I mean, yeah, if you want to like speed run the other 2 coins, if you want.
This is so. This is so bad.
I see what you're doing. Wait, what?
What? Put a little shiny object, but we're gonna make it absolutely massive. Just to make it kind of obvious that it's there. He's never gonna notice this giant.
Oh my god.
He's never gonna notice that. He's never gonna notice that.
X marks the spot.
Also, I think. Wait, hold on.
I feel like it's obvious what you should do with those spikes.
Oh yeah, you're right. And then we make a portal appear. And then you hit the yellow, that's gonna work. That's gonna be perfect.
Okay.
He's gonna love this.
Yeah, I bet he will.
Actually, I'm gonna make this deliberately really bad, and I'm gonna make the portal appear, like disappear in front of your face, and then appear.
Okay.
And then we're gonna put this shine over here. And then we just need to add 1 more coin, I think.
Did you even put down the second one?
Oh, I didn't even put that. Okay. And then we're gonna put a coin like right here. Okay.
Okay. Perfect.
All right. Oh, you have to jump. I forgot about that. Do I have to verify it in time?
No, you're good.
I'll get style points if I do.
Yeah.
No! No! Wait, I like that it doesn't work. I like that. It adds difficulty. Yeah.
Well, oh wait, does it actually work, or are you saying you just like that it just isn't possible?
It does work.
It is
It does work. It's just terrible.
Okay. I see. Okay.
This is the one I actually tried on.
Alright, pretty good, and those are the best kinds of coins, the ones that you can't avoid if you tried.
Oh! I should have. No, your timer went out. I found a cool route. I could have used that. that.
If it makes you feel any better, 2 other people use that exact same route.
Oh, wait, how did I make that jump?
So you get to be more original. All right, thank you, Woolsey. Coins are beautiful.
Wow.
I think Colin's gonna love them, and
I love GD Cologne.
And
GD Cologne.
So yeah, thank you for doing this, and
thank you for inviting me. It was goofy.
Yeah,
I didn't mean to spend 10 minutes on that. I'm sorry if I bored anyone.
Oh no, it's fine. It's gonna be the best part of the video, no doubt.
Okay.
It's time for the moment you've been waiting for.
GD Cologne. All right. Jesus Christ. I have a feeling that given your reputation, I feel like you've got a solid chance at performing pretty well. I look forward to seeing what you think of them.
So 15 minutes, you said. Eyeballing this seems very definitely put a coin here. I did this when I was messing around with base after base.
Yeah, I mean you're welcome to move like structures up and down.
I'm probably
and
gonna
stuff as well if you
expand
want.
this out by 1.
Oh, okay.
It's not that much harder. It's just a lot harder to eyeball. It looks a lot less like you can make.
Yeah, it looks a lot less like the obvious way to go.
And then I want to add some sort of like difficulty to it.
Yeah.
Those jumps were already pretty hard, but I'm thinking like Electro Man Adventure's first coin, kind of. I'm thinking you land right on that orb. I don't want to put an orb there because I think that's too distracting. I'll do something like this. It's a pretty easy coin, but I think it works. Let me take a look at the ship.
Adequate challenge.
Ship, I feel like I could do a coin, but If I did a good coin here, it would probably be a really boring one. It would be funny to do like a Stereo Mountain style one. I don't want to do one up there. It's so lazy. But I feel like if I was building the level, I probably would do that.
Yeah, the ship segment was kind of weird
There's not much to work with here.
Yeah, whenever I build ship segments in levels like this, it's
literally
kind
just
of like
straight fly through the middle.
I kind of just fly around and build the path around it. So I wasn't really sure how to do that and also keep it open without needing like too much work.
Is, like something like that. There. Oh, now I might be onto something. Can you do it? Yeah, you can go. The only problem is that I don't like how you can go under, so I might do. But I like where that spike is.
I feel like going down is the route that most people would probably
I think I'm
gravitate towards.
I think I'm gonna give in and just looks so bad. Whatever. It's a proof of concept. Maybe something where you can like. Oh yeah, that works.
Oh, there you go.
Thinking like Flutterfunk coin 3, but in the other direction. Kind of works, I guess. And then the actual coin could be like.
Yeah.
I think that works, and it's a good recovery as well. And then if you do it the normal way.
Nope.
There's a problem.
Yeah. I feel like you struck a pretty good balance.
I could have gone crazier. I think it would have been more fun to get a little crazy with it. I tried to make coins that match the blow and the design of the level. If it was like a fancier, more decorated custom level, I think I'd be more willing to do like, crazier things with it.
Yeah, so now what I want to do is I'll screen share the other coins, and you know, as you go through, you can tell me how you feel about them. So I've got the other 4 people. So I did this one first. I've got a lot of macros.
You tasked them? Are you that lazy?
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. Here you go.
All right, Vortrox.
Yeah. Of course, yeah, I tasked them. Double green orb click, something there.
Wait, can you hide the pause menu as well?
Okay, so we got this set up here. I don't even fully know how it works.
Is the super buff
yeah.
You know what? Not the worst thing in the world. So normally you're supposed to. Is that like taking advantage of the?
He put down a second green orb in there.
Oh, it's like a multi-hit.
Yeah, it's literally 2 green orbs in one.
Yeah, I think my problem with that is that the average player would probably look at that and assume it's a yellow orb.
Yeah.
Like, I know I did. Maybe that's maybe that's a bit of my color blindness. It could be. Okay, so you just hit the blue orb and then do the jump again.
Yeah.
A little excessive, but. That corner, I think for Vortrox, it's funny. I like it.
So the next one is a 2-parter. So you're in the ball segment. So the first part here is hitting this pink orb late to get down here.
Oh, that's smart.
And then up there. And then that's the recovery. No, you have to do that. Yeah, and then the recovery was the normal size portal with the green orb. And then the third one. Yeah. Key, and there it is.
That's lazy. That's so lazy.
I feel the need to mention there is one very minor difference with the third one. Normally it's a double spike. Getting the key adds a third spike.
Oh, that is kind of funny.
And then if you don't get it, you got the lock in question.
I still think that's pretty lazy. But, I think the ideas are good, but I generally feel like the use of like adding like extra orbs and portals that you see in the main path makes it feel a little bit like bloated or overwhelming. It's not terrible, especially for like a custom level.
Yeah.
I just wish it wasn't like as distracting. I feel like it takes away. I feel like the coins take away a little bit from doing it the normal way because it throws all this extra unnecessary stuff in. All right, tried.
Yep, tried was second in line. Tried. Yeah, tried.
Tried.
So there's that. Yeah.
Pause. Hitboxes. That's so lazy. That is everything I have wrong. There's everything wrong with modern coins nowadays.
Yeah, he made.
If you can go through the block, then make it like a block that looks like you can go through it. Just change the outline color a little bit, or fade it out, or do something. Don't make it look like a regular.
Yeah, at the end he was like, I'll put the fake spikes down, and he literally asked me, he was like, do I have to use 1.0 stuff? And I was like, no, you can use whatever. And he was like, oh, all right, bet I'm just gonna make a default block out of like 3D line objects. That's coin 1.
Recovery, you just go up. Oh, that's an interesting recovery. Not terrible. Oh, that's fun. Okay, run that back.
Yeah. So you're up here.
Okay, so I think the portal is too out in the open. Like, I think the average player would actually drift to that over the normal route.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes any sense?
Yeah. Okay.
Although panning the camera up is a good idea. I think there's like infinite potential for that, and I really, really like it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't really see the reason here to make it so you can just clip through the spikes. Like, I don't really understand why that couldn't just be an opening that you go through.
I think it's just because it looked. I think he wanted to go more for the aesthetic here and make it not look so like ugly.
The giant ship portal does it. I have no idea what actually will kill you here. Can you try?
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a really deceiving hitbox here. Because
I need to see it.
When he was making it, this spike here kind of annoying because the block behind it is gone, but the actual spike is still there.
Not sure what the creative decision behind keeping the spikes there was. What block can he even use to make those spikes?
He used the mini fake spikes and just like copy pasted them a bunch of times to make them not like transparent.
Oh, that's smart. As for the rest of the coin, honestly, I don't even have that many complaints. I think that part is kind of funny.
Yeah.
I just don't like the transition to it. If he wants to make like a crazy hard coin, that is something you see in custom levels, and I think it is kind of funny when people do that. It generally makes star grinders mad, but I think that makes it even funnier. So I think my advice for those coins is you can get really, really crazy with the coin placements as long as it's like isolated from the main path.
Yeah.
If the level is suited to like a casual player and they just want to play the level normally, you shouldn't let the coins like interfere with that. The extra difficulty of that part is funny, but I'm just really glad it's isolated from the main.
Yeah,
you don't want to catch like normal players in the crossfire, so I think it does a good job at that. I just don't like that first ship portal being in a kind of weird spot. Sure. Nothing groundbreaking there.
Yeah.
Just built off of that idea. You kind of just gave everyone that exact same idea with that one.
Yeah,
I think that coin is enough to hold, but it's more fun to expand on it a little bit.
Third was moldy. I'm just gonna let it speak for itself. It's
good. Where's the punchline?
There's
probably a little too easy on the right track. And let me get. Oh. Can you just hop into the editor for this?
He had mentioned while building that he because he knew that I was gonna be showing you these. He was like, I need to make them pure, like for a lot of it. So he definitely has the.
That's like the X step coin. But I think the biggest weakness here is just the camera problems.
Yeah.
But I think this one is fine. What are the other ones again?
The ship one is
this
just
one,
a swoop up.
It's fine. I think it's too easy though.
To jump off of here.
I think it works.
Yeah.
I think that first one, I don't think it's enough to find just by like randomly experimenting. I think you have to like make a conscious effort to go for it, and I think that's good.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. His are definitely.
My only complaint is that they feel a little too stale for a custom level.
Yeah.
Like I know I always say like, oh, the coins need to flow well, but I think for a custom level, they feel a little bit lifeless. But I think if I played a level where those were the coins, I'd ultimately be very happy with it. Placements are really good, but I think there's definitely room to do more with it, even if it means not like as pure or whatever.
And lastly, there's
it's Wolsey.
There's gonna be
I spilled Starbucks on Zuni's desk.
Feeling good
for a really long time.
There's gonna be a lot to process here.
Okay, it looks the same. he knew what he was doing. Okay.
That's
direct
it.
attack on me.
That's those are
direct attack.
Those are the coins. So to start, massive sparkle. These are negative hitbox blocks.
Ooh.
So you can just
Always thinking with portals.
Yeah, which is so he can just jump through them.
I like the sparkle because it already puts it ahead of Knocko.
And you jump up here, and there's another negative hitbox one over there. And there's a portal that appears after you fall into it. So there's a lot to take in here. I'm gonna go
The
in.
funny part is, I think with a little bit of, if this wasn't as ironic, like if you had the time to like redecorate and polish them up, I think these would actually make for really, really good coins. Like the placements are good, but the decoration obviously needs work. Like the decoration is too ironic, but I think he's really, really onto something with the placement.
Yeah, I think he was definitely sort of like panicking and just like kind of being silly at the ending, because like I said, when he went to go do the first one, he had like 4 minutes left. Slow this down, you can get a nice view of all of the moving items, and then the coin just appears there.
No, it's the spikes. I think that's, he was onto something so good, but it's the spikes fading out at the very end that really gets me. Like, that's so unnecessary. He's definitely cooking. Like, you just have to redecorate it a little bit. The last coin just there.
It's always there. Yeah, he literally just put it there.
Doesn't add anything or whatever?
Nope, it is just on its own with nothing there. He had like less than a minute left.
Alright, so then that's
pretty good, right?
It's a custom level. Or no, have you played VVVVVV?
Of course.
You know the final area where it just gives you the last trinket for free?
Oh yeah.
That's what it makes me think. I like how it's more effort to not get the coin than
yeah, like
can he even not get it? I think it would be so funny if you got the coin by not getting the coin. Like it's just that there's just like a big sign that says "Don't get this coin."
You have to avoid it, and then it appears later. That would be a funny idea, yeah.
He doesn't like Woolsey doesn't realize it, but he's cooking.
Yeah, I don't think he. Yeah, I mean,
he laughs, but he's really on.
Yeah, I mean, I think he was expecting to like have like some of the worst, but I mean, you know.
Like I really want to work with him here. These can be cleaned up. These don't feel out of place at all for like what you'd see in a custom level, aside from like the ironic decorations.
Yeah.
So you know what, go Wolves.
Yep. So that's all the coins that I had people go through.
Pretty good.
Moldy's like the odd one out by far, which is so funny because I totally expected more people to take his sort of mindset and go simple, but everyone got a little bit like fruity with it.
Yeah, I think mine are pretty boring compared to what I've seen.
Yours are like a middle ground between what Moldy did and what like everyone else did, because yours are but you did more, like you didn't just place them down.
Yeah, mine are boring, but it's like what people would expect from me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll go with it.
Yeah, so I think that was it was pretty good. It's a lot of different perspectives from all involved. So thank you for doing this, because honestly you were kind of like the most hingent part, because if you weren't able to do it, then I was like, well, that kind of defeats the purpose.
Wow, you're relying on me?
Yeah, you're the coin guy, bro. You're
using me?
Yeah, you're gonna be the thumbnail, just your icon. But yeah, thanks for doing it.
Cool and good.
Thank you for that. God bless. Good stuff. So, in the end, everyone was a winner. I think. I don't know. I really didn't get a definite answer on what coin was objectively the best one from Colin. Regardless, huge thank you to all the participants for agreeing to do this. All of their channels are linked below, even though they all have more subs than me, so you've definitely already heard of them. And huge thanks to you for watching all the way till the end. Special thanks to all the channel members, including the Carl. So again, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys all in the next video. Oh, and remember when Colin said Woolsey was kinda cooking with his coins? Well, he actually decided afterwards to fix them up on his own. So as a bonus for watching all the way till the end, here's the collaboration of the century.